Light is green, and after quite a while, we have a fresh session of the Boarside Bunch on the Split Side story. So, does anyone recall what the party were up to last we were with them?
Nil, I hate everything about that.
We fought a manticore again.
We burned the meat wagon.
We did. And then we refought the manticore because somebody can't kill him. And somebody has made that manticore a personal enemy.
I kill the guy.
You have not yet.
He just flies away like a fucking stupid bird.
He'll kill
we
for
fought
you.
some zombies, and Ernest lost his name, regained his name, and now we may or may not be taking this Fae thing back to the fort. Fort. That's the word I was looking for.
Wait, what? When did that become the part of the plan?
He asked, and at some point in time, somebody said that we could take him back to the fort because he thought it sounded fun. That was Buckthorn.
I am pretty sure they would not be happy about having someone like him running around.
I'm pretty sure they would not know that someone like him was running around.
Yeah, I don't think they would like it either way. Besides, he has a pig to keep company, doesn't he?
He does, but why don't we take the pig with us?
Him?
Him.
Mr.
Why don't we take him
Pig?
with us? Mr. We are
Does the
taking
pig-
Mr. Pig with us.
Does the pig consent?
I am quite alright to go with you for somewhere that'll feed me, shelter me. Yes, I'm quite used to a lap of luxury.
Well, that life of luxury before would have ended with you on someone's platter.
And?
So you would be okay if that still happened to you?
I am fed every day up to it. Fine.
Oh. Well, that's convenient. So,
He is well aware of his lot in life.
Yeah.
I know my place.
Respectable.
Sounds fine by me.
Either way, I think we should probably get back to the fort soon. Just because, I mean, now we know that they were musicked out of their place via some sort of a charm. And there are undead things marching on the town, so we probably need to tell somebody about this.
Yeah. We never actually found out what happened to that other village where the people up and left.
I assume it's the same thing, probably, that they got marched out.
Yeah. I think there was still that wizard house we never really managed to get inside.
I look at our new friend. Do you think you'd be any good at deciphering what's going on with that?
Yeah, I know a few wee bits and pieces. Not really great when it comes to a full magical barrier. I mean, if it were just a big place with good defense, I could squeeze on in. That's no bother whatsoever. But if there's a wee bit of a wiggle fingers going on, it's not really going to benefit me. Oh, I mean, it's not going to benefit us because I'm not that way inclined. Got tricks for the
Are you
mundane.
good at figuring out? Are you good at figuring out puzzles though? This might be a puzzle.
Partial to a puzzle. I can be brought on towards a conundrum. I prefer to play them.
Well, I mean, it would be a good show to see, you know, test your teeth.
There's just an array of yellowed, misaligned teeth in his jaw clacking for a moment, without his jaw moving.
How late in the day is it actually?
It's getting to the sun cresting. Past dinner time.
Alright.
Getting a bit closer to the night.
Never mind, then we should probably go straight home.
Yeah. And look at the magic home tomorrow. There's still the Manticore somewhere around, but I'm pretty sure it'll find us, or rather Donk, soon enough. Again.
If you listen very closely, Donk, on the wind you can hear, "Fuck you."
Oh.
Suck my dick.
No.
Are you all right?
I'm gonna kill that fucking bird.
Bird? When'd you piss off a bird?
It's a Manticore, but I'm calling it a bird as an insult.
That's not a very good insult.
Well, I mean, I guess we'd have to ask the Manticore.
We will. We'll ask it with violence.
You could probably call it a duck.
That could confuse somebody, or... Oh, if I had command, telling it to duck might be funny.
It's a coin toss anytime you... It's a coin toss anytime you use that in someone. Are we going to quack, or are we going to bend their knees?
What if they do both?
It depends on if they're a biologist or not. If
It's command. It can only compel them to do one thing. It's the first thing that comes to their mind on that command.
Yeah, but the thing is, they do one, but then they do the other voluntarily, just to fuck with you.
I'm not sure it's a win in their corner.
I don't know. It's
Well, on the bright side, you have yourself a spoon that you know is magical, some way.
Magic spoon.
Mm-hmm. What a great boon that was.
I will hop down off the roof.
Did we actually have anyone who can identify the spoon?
Yes.
Well, get to it.
Are we doing it now, or we're not going to wait until we get back?
We should probably just wait until we get, beat feet over the hills and dales and get back to the fort where it's nice and safe.
Yeah, it's probably not going to be like some sort of battle-changing weapon.
I don't see a big problem from these ones now that they're settled, but would like to get somewhere safe to talk this out.
Yeah, sounds reasonable for me. Yeah, anyone got any other plans?
Did we, in fact, investigate this home which stinks of elf?
Yes, that was the only home you thoroughly investigated, apart from the prank trap. And you were greatly offended by its existence. It was the only home that showed signs of violence.
Yes, clearly the home of the perpetrators.
And most definitely not because they're the only ones resistant.
We must find these ne'er-do-wells.
We will, tomorrow.
But so the party set off, in grand old style. Familiar territory now, although it's starting to become a bit more alien in memory due to the darkness. For a few of you, you can peer out, but still it becomes pitch darkness just beyond 60 feet. It changed... No, this is just from the lack of sunlight. But it's just a case that, without the long distance to correlate the geography in your mind, it does start to look a bit more foreign, a bit different. But Fern seems pretty confident in where she's going with a lantern in hand. And it's many an hour, and it is the absolute dead of night by the time you return to the walls of the fort, seeing it loom before you. But at least there's nice, bright torchlight. There are familiar faces, wearing helmets, so you can't actually see them, but they're patrolling up and down. And without incident, you will find yourselves back at the fort, which to ruminate and ponder. What'd you say, Verena?
Oh, there we go. I said, oh, thank goodness.
Now, for my important wizardly business, I must identify the spoon.
Yes.
Please do.
It is a spoon of the unfirm. You say its command word, and it will act like an unseen servant to feed you.
This should be highly useful.
It is attunement, however.
I got slots.
I go to find our. Oh, what's his name? Frog.
It's there. It's listed. Can you not see the name?
No.
No, his name should be on display. Yeah.
Well, I see this guy, but I mean the one that we brought.
Ah. He's just hanging about, doing fishing.
And yeah, I can't see the names of anybody. Because that's a separate. I think because if you click to show it, you actually have to then go into the thing and then click another menu to show it. I have this problem.
Yeah, let's see. I'm in the settings here. Name, Merglot, nameplate is tagged.
But where it says that, look for the 3 dots.
There we go.
There you go.
Hang on.
Yeah, now we see Murglot's name.
This will help in.
But yeah, I'd be popping around to try to psychically communicate with our new friend and ask him how his day at the fort was.
They fed me. They said get fish. Sir Merglot, the Undying and Immortal, said he might have more work for me.
The Undying?
He had titles.
Oh, yeah. Did you get fish?
Some. It's busy river. I'm still terrified. I think the fish know.
Know what?
That I am scared and I am failing as a hunter.
You're not failing. You're doing good. You
Yeah,
have got some fish, and you're adjusting to here just fine.
Thank you.
Do you provide appropriate offerings?
He can't understand you.
Perhaps. Oh, right.
Yeah. He can only understand me
mind.
because I'm psychically talking to him.
Never mind. I forgot that.
He doesn't speak common at all, which left him incredibly confused and more worried as you guys babbled about him.
Yeah, only 2 of us can actually communicate with him, and one's an NPC.
Oh, I can communicate with him. Everyone
No.
speaks the violence language.
No.
There you go. Now you've got everyone's name. All these colorful NPCs that I'm sure the party will adjust and attach themselves to. When they do, that's when I strike.
I mean, in the case of Farron, she has more attached herself to us, I'd say.
It's her job.
She's cute.
That too. She's literally there as your guide and liaison.
Yep.
Yeah, I've marked her down as fangirl.
Hookfoot.
Though I suppose she's on the way to be cured of that. If she's not already.
Well, blame
Speaking of
Krasari for being an excellent writer. She put a
You know, that
shine
would
on
go-
board. She put a shine on Boarside, but apparently just isn't there in reality.
She's just amazed that, you know, we like to give each other guff.
I'm with the War Crimes Division.
I'll kill every frog, all of them.
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
but we also mentioned that he's not part of us, really. Just, you know, he's attached to himself. Anyways, Fern, have you told everybody about what we found? Given a report?
Oh yeah, of course. Apparently we actually got a bit of normal work soon. Malark was telling me that a caravan was seen just coming this way from Duration border. So actually get to do some real familiar work instead of dealing with a pack of undead gnolls or whatever's going on out there.
Is there any news on what they're going to do with the pack of undead gnolls and what else is going on out there?
Oh, Rotary, you were talking about that one? Well, it's easy enough. I was it were me and the boy of Al. We were tracking a gnoll war band. Well, a gang more than a war band. So, from what you've said you've bashed about, that tallies with most of them. Can't decide on why they were so busted up though. That's a bit odd. And if you're wondering, the Wyverlings thing is, that's when the tribes run into such trouble they can't eat and they turn on each other for a bit. Then the shamans meant to raise them up and send them off among the warband, because why waste resources?
True.
But you didn't see the priest.
No, I don't think so.
No, and that also doesn't explain why there was a whole town that, you know, it just they got up and walked away, except for the elves who couldn't be charmed.
I don't know on that one. No on the gnolls though. Like, if they'd gotten to the town first, they'd be burned to the ground. It's why we keep an eye out for them. So, at least the gnolls didn't get them. Can't think of what did. We'll keep an eye out though.
I'm just half wondering if it's connected.
I'm not seeing how. You got a thinking on it?
Well, we ran into the cart with the meat, and that kind of implies that maybe they're looking for undead things. We also found that the gnolls had been pulled off, just like the village had, which would imply
Is that the phrasing you really want to use?
Yes. I'm going to stick by my phrasing, thank you very much.
Alright, so the gnolls were pulled off, got you.
In the same way that the village was, and probably the other workers were. Which would imply that maybe the undead gnolls were actually the gnolls that we found were not in their camp.
No, that was hobgoblins.
Or hobgoblins, so never mind.
Gnolls don't make camp.
The point is, things are pulling things, and I wouldn't be surprised if it's connected.
It's something that tugs at your thought of curiosity, eh?
Yes, it does.
And you're trying desperately to get a handle on that tugging.
Oh no, I have a great handle on the tugging, thank you.
Just making sure that's clear.
Yes.
I don't want there being
Make it
like
clearer.
Nah, I've got night shifts, sadly. But the offer is noted. She goes back to scraping his beans in the bowl. And you can see the fern overhead, all of it.
Good.
So, tomorrow, guess it's in your hands where we go out. Aside from anything we get by message of Malark Rotary or the durations and such. Yeah, you know, like the smoke from the village going away and such priority messages, you know.
Could try that one place again and try to figure out how to open that door.
Oh, there was the letter you found as well.
Oh yes.
Letter?
That was the
Where
boot
was it?
note.
That was in the Whittling village.
Nope, that was it on one of the corpses at the meat wagon.
Yeah.
Ah.
Yeah, but we don't really have much on that yet. But yeah.
Well, we could just ask. Groft. If you're riding out again, could you see if you can find a few woodsmen or something? Just on the topic of Whispernay, if they found, well, they're not going to tell us if they found any, but if there's if they've seen any strangers, any unusual folk going into the woods in strange areas, ones they might know about, but most don't. And the orc just shrugs, nods, bit of a grumph as he's just hacking at the face of a killed deer with his tusk. I think he's agreeing to it. And then, for anyone who wants to take a look in the battlements and such, there is a caravan approaching.
Hmm.
It's a strong complement. About 10 folks. Most of them generics who do not need to be seen. So instead, you see 2 tokens.
Well, they ride ahead of the caravan.
No, they're in the swarm, and they're in the melee of it. One of them looks to be one in charge, that'd be the Tabaxi.
Okay.
Because there's always Tabaxi in this side of Rexus.
Ajit has wares if you have coin.
Oh, alright, so this is also part of what we brought you on for, just to help out here. We normally do the checks ourselves, but if you just keep an eye on us, we'll show you how to do. It's mainly about weapons and goods that don't have proof marks on them. It's about checking for any contraband that might be secreted in the wagon or on their possessions. Generally, just if you show something to us, if it's unusual looking, we can tell pretty well, but there's a long list of illicit substances and things that aren't allowed in unless they're properly checked through, and it would take too long to go through it all for even how long you're going to be posted here.
Alright. So just anything that looks really weird and unusual.
Mm-hmm. And they ride on in. You see one stout, proud-looking warrior. Maybe proud's the wrong word. Smug-looking warrior. Very contented look on his face. Pretty good armor. Pretty good work all around. It looks like she looks more Boarside construction. The Tabaxi, though. Zarina. You recognize him.
Oh?
It's a bit hazy because alcohol was involved, but you recall an evening where you were waking up in your room, and he was there partway through your window, coming in.
Oh.
There was a fair bit of yelling. You got to see that he could indeed land on his feet. But you're always curious on what he was coming in for, really. But you asked around, names come around. He's known as Beach Foam.
Okay.
Ah, wonderful days. Here I come again to this fort, this wonderful checkpoint where I must bear myself to the wonders of all you people. Hello there. How are you? Erglot waving across him. Salute, once again you try to sneak through. What illicit do you have now? Narcotics, something to put in the blood. Oh, maybe you have some deeply poisoned weapon, something inferior to my own, of course, but you keep it in a satchel, yes? And there is just the fakest lack of any emotion smile on the Tabaxi's face. It's always wonderful when my fellow colleague is right there to try and insinuate Law breaking here, right in front of a guard who already are prejudiced towards an honest businessman like myself, as opposed to a swarthy bribe meister like yourself. So, who will be tumbling around and breaking my possessions today? My wares, indeed.
We won't be breaking your wares, just looking through them.
Oh.
I mean, if you want, we can certainly do that.
A wonderful sight that's barely perceived in the darkness. Hello, madame. And you also.
Don't worry, we'll try to make this as quick and ginger as possible.
Oh, please, in this case, dally away. Anyone told you that your eyes are those of a huntress?
It's been said before, but not by the people I've always wanted, but it's appreciated.
But I could tell you so much more on top of that as well, but may I get an introduction?
Subtle Storm.
Ah, Subtle Storm. I imagine it was quite the evening that you decided on that name. One of the furious wrath of nature itself. Wind, rain, thunder, and lightning. Whereas I myself was on a quiet beach as the waves rolled across, the only noise that could be heard. It was like I was the only man in the world who needed a woman beside him.
Well, you have a way with words. And then she starts lightly parsing through the stuff.
Oh yeah, give me an investigation, whoever's doing this. She gets an advantage. Because it's someone helping each other out. You're not doing this alone.
I was the chief body looter back in War Crimes
Good
Division.
thing I had advantage.
So here's a question, then. What is Subtle Storm and one other person searching, and what is Donkin and one other person searching? Like, it's a case of the people, the carriage, storage boxes, you know, up a horse's arse.
Yeah, you want to look and do saddlebags, kind of leather satchels and stuff.
All right.
Yeah, I was about to say, if that's the case, then wait, are we supposed to be searching them, or are we supposed to be searching the stuff?
Mm-hmm.
Stuff. They probably have some stuff on them too, let's be honest.
I mean, considering she would be more than willing to search the people individually, because apparently the fellow would be more than happy to assist with her search.
Just the stuff first. Then you can worry about personages.
Yeah, probably the stuff. Well, is anybody else going to also do investigation?
Duncan is.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's
So
helping.
we could do one more.
Basically, you do it in pairs. Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, Zarina, he has made zero acknowledgement of your presence.
Exactly, and I'd probably break his stuff if I were to go look through it, and I'd rather not.
Yeah, I'll just also sit on the sidelines and point.
Fine, who's with me?
So,
You can
Ernest,
look at
it's up
that
to you.
thing. There
There
could
we
be
go.
something in there.
Wait, we get advantage, don't we?
Yes. So I will search the people.
Yeah, we get advantage.
Donkin's searching the saddlebag, and then Ernest is searching the stuff.
You get advantage if someone is helping you, and I'm actually sitting out, so I believe we only have 5 people
Well,
searching.
I rolled a 14 first anyway, so.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
Or Ernest having to do it alone.
Yeah.
He looks like that. I mean, no.
Little help here?
Yeah, and also Ernest, it's pretty tough going because this is a textiles merchant. It is rolls upon rolls and sheets of cloth. Which is tough to handle when you've got short arms. You're not that tall either.
Take over a stool for you to stand on.
But it's just a case of getting through all of this takes a while, and the crates are so large you have to actually jump up and get your feet off the ground to go into them.
I have an 8 in strength. I want to point that out. this is,
Well, it's a good thing it's textiles.
Very fast. Yeah.
Oh, lovely crease, cracks. Do not get
I yelled
anything.
out for
Do not
help.
get your spittle on them, little man.
I glower at him.
He will behave. He's a good lad.
But from
I
what
am behaving.
But from
In
what
what
you
way?
from what you go through, Ernest, it all looks fair. I guess it's all just rolls of cloth. It's hurting your eyes, to be honest. There's a lot of patterns here.
Yeah, just kind of pats the stack. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's good.
Yes, of course. Of course, as you're patting around pockets and pouches, subtle Stormy's looking. I could make you something very fine and daring about it. I would not need a whole lot. As such, it would be quite affordable.
Oh, what are you thinking?
Oh, I wouldn't want to say it out loud with such embarrassable company here. Beauclair here has not been with many a delightful woman, and nor one as dangerous as you seem.
Oh, if you insist, maybe we can discuss it later.
Mm-hmm. Give me a perception roll.
Wow.
Yeah, you go through his pockets and pouches. He offers them up to you and all. There doesn't seem to be anything there. It's unusual. There's quite a few little tiny bottles of alcohol. That's about it.
I would check that they're actually alcohol.
Oh,
And then she drank the poison.
I would be careful. I don't want to... at least these three. The rest are the same brand. It's just I don't want them to lose their effervescence over time. Once the seal is popped, it's never quite the same.
I do have to check one. Just the one.
As said, these three are perfectly fine. You can even... I mean, as in these three brands, you can take a bottle of each. It's perfectly fine. In fact...
No, thank you.
In fact, this night, if you're not too... I mean, you are not one of these nightly orders such. You are perfectly fine to sample as well. Why do we not just share one bottle?
We'll see once I'm not working.
Ern gives you a little thumbs up there.
Oh, we don't accept bribes?
No, Duncan.
Shit.
That would surprise me, considering that colorful frog himself is sitting right there. A man who deals with nothing but death. You really think he gets in here for free? Do you think he gets a pass simply? Why is he sitting here these days? I'm sure he's not moved since last I came through.
Probably a really comfy spot. We're sure about the bribes, though. I used to accept them all the time. They're great.
Why am I not surprised?
I am. Duncan?
Huh?
Please say that's a joke.
Legally, that's a joke. Fine. Not in the army anymore. They can't court-martial me. It's good. We're fine.
You don't turn up a whole lot either, Duncan.
Do you even listen to the words that come out of your mouth?
The first time he hears them, or when the rest of us do as well.
Yeah, gotta keep the head empty for thoughts.
Oh, is Duncan the purveyor of the head empty strategy? Is that what you're going to go for?
Lou had to learn it from somewhere. But no, Duncan's full of thoughts. Such as bribery and...
Bit of a bright spark.
Extremely intelligent.
His mind is always burning. Sometimes with a question. But yeah, after a thorough check through, it seems perfectly fine. As you can see, I am exactly what I said I am. And do not forget that. But I am so much more also. May I please proceed then? As much as the accommodations here are lovely, I don't wish to share it with one who is oozing death himself just by existing. Don't let him get in the well or anything, you know, he taints the entire supply.
I look to Fern to get the go-ahead.
Yeah. Everything checks out.
Welcome on.
Yes, it'll be wonderful to dip my toes up in the capital once again. Such a long ride, however, but we won't be camping too far away if you catch my drift.
I might be taking an afternoon stroll.
Yes, I'll make sure to delay departure then.
I meant nighttime. Lots of going on.
He still says the same thing. And off they go.
They needed a third hand.
See, nothing to it. You just check on through, see if there's anything unusual, and report it to us.
Right.
Maybe next time we'll give you a fuller hand as well. There are some familiar. I don't want to say anything bad about them, but it's just from some of the wagons we've seen from here as well, as long with Jurat and from they tend to have the same kind of compartment ideas when it comes to contraband. I mean, sometimes they're being quite clever. Malark, you once found a wheel that had been hollowed out. Not alone. Aye. Great it was. Filled with ridiculous potent hooch. Easy one to tell as well, because after all, you just get a grip of a wagon, hoist it up, and you can feel one side's a bit lighter or sloshing.
Wouldn't it be harder if they made all the wheels like that?
Aye, but then you're not going to make it to your destination. A hollow wheel's no good, even when it's filled with a bit of fluid. Throws off the balance too.
What do you do with contraband that you guys seize, such as expensive hooch?
Officially, it is destroyed, but the official wording on that is rendered non-useful.
I
I
like that wording.
It was pretty rough, but we had a hell of a night. Although, as it is for poisons, illegal weapons, and such, most of that does get melted down.
Yeah, that wouldn't be as much fun.
It's just decree of the crown and whatnot. You know, if you're going to swing something for the kingdom's defense, it's got to have a nice big proof mark on it. A stamp of quality. And it's fine fair for you lot. You're freelance mercenaries and all that sort of thing, but for us, we've got to only use official gear. And we've not had the benefit of anything magical passing through, to be honest. It's usually just, oh, this brand of silk isn't used here because we don't support the worms, I guess. It's kind of confusing litigation things.
It's guild business. Probably.
Like I said, it doesn't make a whole lot of sense to us, and why not, but we've got the orders. Oh, back in one sec.
Well, I guess someone is making less coin.
I wonder how long I'd have to work at one of these places to have an incident with the burning wagon.
With you?
5 minutes.
A week? Maybe
just
2?
So it would be an accident. I stick my head, just a little bit too close. Poof.
Yeah, it really just depends on how many cards come through.
Oh, hopefully that's the last one. Gotta go out and kill more shit.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's not gonna be the last one. Given we are here for quite some time. I'm not quite sure how long.
I think it partially depends on how long it takes us to sort out this zombie shit.
Fair enough. But you should also try to get rid of your new friend before we go home.
Oh, I'm gonna kill that bird. I'll throw the frog at the bird.
I don't think he would appreciate that.
Could be cool for a couple seconds.
Not for the frog.
Yeah, flying's fun. So a few seconds until he hits, impact would be suck, but everything else.
Can you even throw him that far?
How could it possibly be?
Try throwing me.
Just stick him on a floating disc.
I'm pretty sure that does not qualify as throwing, but sure.
It's semantics. I'm a wizard.
I guess he might enjoy that. Being dragged around on a disc.
Probably not behind me, of all people.
Storm, I'm pretty sure while you were searching the guys, the cat has been staring at you for longer than appropriate. In places not appropriate.
That is how this works, yes.
And still you offer to go out on a trip with him?
Are you unaware of how flirting works?
And back in play.
Welcome back.
Thank you. Continue.
I am. But this guy seems more sleazy than anything to me.
Well, it's not a marriage.
Unlike with Blank.
Exactly, I have something that I'm looking for back home.
Sure.
And then we all take a moment to think, that's what she's coming back to? That's what she's looking forward to coming back to? I heard there was a party.
Is he even in the same dimension as us right now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right now, they are just slightly to the west in the swamp. This is a concurrent story.
Good old normal armed Claude.
No, by this time I'm pretty sure he's crit himself. I guess continue your chatter.
Yeah, well, I was mostly holding some idle chatter until we could continue.
Well, there's no other topics
I'm a
then.
strong, independent woman who is perfectly capable of picking who she can go on long walks with.
Yeah. Well, have fun with that then. So...
I gotta try out this new magic spoon. 2 oatmeals.
Singular oats. No, it is quite expert. Like, it adjusts for you as well. You even try, give it a little bit wiggle, bit of a jive of the head. No, it follows gently enough that it doesn't overload the spoon or anything like that there. It's probably even not, like, the cleanest you ever eaten. Because there's less scorch marks.
Yeah, it's just great. This is the life.
Yep, you can just rest back, hands behind head, and just enjoy the sensation of zero effort eatery.
I gotta get some grapes when I'm back home.
A single grape in each spoon.
Yeah.
Ernace? Good job.
Yes.
You've had a day.
Just watching Duncan and his spoon. Just like, what the fuck?
But is it in awe, jealousy, or just confusion?
He's not sure yet.
Like as a halfling, would being able to eat without effort be an amazing thing, or is that part of the experience?
Yeah, I don't. He's conflicted.
You lucky bastard. Speaks Tajin beside you.
Lucky find. I mean, it just. I mean, I had to have it, you know.
All right, now it's working on oatmeal. Probably works on soups as well. But what if it has to be something that needs to be chopped and forked? Can
I was looking at
steak?
that bread and wondering, can I get it to pick up the entire loaf of bread and I just take a bite off?
Or
the bread would fall off.
Wasteful. Hang on, let's sort this out. Too fresh now. Here we go. This one is a fucking brick.
Oh, yeah. Let's see. How strong is this spoon? Can I bend it with my mind?
As it starts to come down towards the stale bread, you can see one edge of it thin down. Becomes an edge. And it puts a lot of pressure on there, but unfortunately, the bread itself, too stale, and it slides off at high speed. Ernace, luckily you don't have to duck, but it does go above you.
A strong-ass spoon. It could probably actually do well with regular bread.
Would not be bad for Tiddlywinks night.
What if I want to like a piece of meat? I need like a fork.
Exactly. Yeah. Well, I mean, it turned into a knife there. So I assume it would just be able to, cut it and then scoop it.
The old cut and scoop.
But what sort of chunk size? Right.
It probably will just know what's the best.
Well, there you go. There's your job for tomorrow. Got to find a good animal, bring it back, we'll get a steak on.
Oh, this would be good hunting. I'll make sure not to burn it before it gets here.
That would be ideal. I quite like a bit of it myself.
Oh, yes. Forget the zombies. It's time to hunt.
Zombies? You said you dealt with witherlings. They're skeletons, though.
How about the gnolls, where they were somebody brought them back?
They're undead, mate, but the skeletons. Zombies is a different taxonomic nomenclature.
My job was not research. It was fires.
Well, get it straight.
Fire works well on both.
Look, skeletons are a magically possessed construct of bones. They can be any assortment of bones. They don't even have to be from the one creature, whereas a zombie has to be most of a corpse. So you usually get the recognition a lot there. They're also a lot tougher because of the flesh and muscle and tissue that's still hanging on to them, whereas skeletons are easy as piss, mate. It's a whole different ball game dealing with zombies over skeletons. Plus, skeletons have a greater dexterity, so they can still use tools more effectively.
I mean, there's got to be more kinds of undead then. What about just a spirit?
Now, a spirit is something that's usually quite intangible, so that's more a case for, well, I suppose you and your drummer mate there to deal with. I myself, with my spear, wouldn't be able to do a whole lot against one.
What if I set it on fire magically?
Yes, that's exactly why I'm saying you're the lad for it. Then again, there is the types of ghosts in the case of maybe magical force or even blunt force wouldn't be enough to do it. Perhaps you'd have to quell its long undone desires. The business that it left behind when it was cruelly taken from its mortal coil.
I really have to consider the problems my actions cause, probably, actually. I wonder how many ghosts' sole purpose is to see me dead.
You? Probably not an insubstantial number. Burn to death is quite a horrible way to go.
Yeah. It's, doesn't smell good.
Oh, I thought the whole point was it smells good and that's the horrible part of it. Meat's meat when it's cooking, but you realize that's a person. Horrific.
You gotta mentally say that doesn't smell good. You gotta tell yourself it doesn't, then it won't.
Does that do anything for you, Sir Buckthorn? I don't know if your people are more just vegetarian.
It depends.
I mean, out of character's case of you're a fey creature, so anything goes, really. For all we know, you could dine on sunbeams and sugar.
No, PETA says right here, wild bunnies do not eat meat. They're herbivores.
All right, then why does that one have 6 children when she had 8 before?
Where'd they go?
I don't think I'd read too much into PETA.
Yeah, don't.
But I do have to admire, Buckthorn for his gains, despite not eating the protein of meat. Yeah.
We don't know if he doesn't eat the protein of meat.
Would rabbits from this plane of existence be more effective for protein wise? Like, can you absorb them better?
I'm gonna point out rabbits can absolutely eat meat if it's
Yeah, they're opportunistic carnivores.
Absorb rabbits better.
Yes.
Yeah, I think deer even eat like baby birds.
Yeah,
They do. And so do horses.
there is also a specific region at this point, it's somewhere in the Everwoods or whatever, where because of wild magic, it's all gone topsy-turvy, and herbivores are just natural carnivores there. So it's a question now. Does Buckthorn dine on meat?
Yes.
Fascinating. Gotta tell this one to Rotary. He was the one having it out with you with Bear. I still say it's ridiculous, the idea of that bear wearing a hat. But professionally trained, it could be traveling by ball, but only short distances and not uphill.
But if it did not wear a hat, it would be naked.
No, it could always have a bow tie or a little waistcoat.
That's just unseemly.
I've seen him wear vests before.
What type of performance are we talking about at this point?
As some sort of comedic circus, I imagine. Mind you, it could also be for the vulgars, the well-to-dos who don't have taste, but they do have wealth. But I should really have Rotary in here to help decide this discussion. Gonna pack it in, though, have a night. How about you?
I'm gonna keep an eye out for that manticore for a little while, and then go to bed.
Alright, don't worry, we'll keep an eye out for that as well. I don't think he's coming down here. Have you seen those ballista?
I mean, I shoot lasers and he still comes down for me.
They put one in from his eye to his arse.
That would be fun.
That would actually be quite fun. I could really hang my hat high on a shot like that.
He's shooting at you because you've infuriated him that much. Lasers be darned. So the ballista might not be the deterrent you think.
Oh, we'll still keep an eye out. You never know.
All right, man. Good talk. See you tomorrow.
Have a night yourself, Dunk.
I will, and then a morning after that. And then a night.
Yes.
Let's not get ahead of ourselves.
I'm just hoping I don't get killed by a manticore.
And so you all bed down, yes?
I'm going for a moonlit stroll. And yes, I'm bedding down.
Yes. Do you want just a veil drawn over that, or do you have a topic of conversation for beach foam?
Can you repeat that?
Shall we just skip, or do you have a topic of conversation for beach foam?
It's just a kind of a general where...
Alright, just a nice little chatter then.
Trying to figure out, where he's from, what he does.
Oh, he speaks of several of the oasis towns of Jarret. While it is a place mainly of grasslands and harbours, it does have quite a chunk of the Enterok Desert in it. Split by the Sea of the Sands, which is an actual sea in this, as opposed to just being a sandy stretch of desert. And how he does talk a bit about how he has rubbed elbows with some of the most silk-drenched and jewel-bedecked of the peoples, which sounds like obvious bollocks. But he still talks about things that do seem kind of plausible. He's been to many of the circuses and themes, a couple of the carnivals, the great stage plays, and even been on the stage himself, although merely a bit part as he plays down in humbleness. This is just before saying that he lit up the town during one of their great festivals. He was king of the carnival himself, raised on a great golden palanquin.
Can I get an insight to see how much of this is bollocks?
Yes.
Hey, I'm insightful today.
Surprisingly, it seems like a good 40% seems to be accurate in the way he's telling it in his mind. You can. I mean, there's a lot of blatant ones where you can tell even he doesn't believe it, but it sounds fun. But yeah, there's a fair core of his travels and some of the locations and landmarks he speaks of that are actually pretty reasonable.
Yeah, that's more than I thought. Okay.
Yeah.
So she is suitably impressed.
Yeah. One of the key things you take away from that is that Jurat not as unified in concept as Raxus. Like, each of the Oasis cities, kind of its own fiefdom by itself. So each place he went to was basically its own set of laws and customs. Not as, not like, if you go to Boarside, you've got a pig-heavy diet, but in general, it's not that different from going to Sloanholm. Not as different as when Frest existed. So, colorful, unusual.
Yeah.
At no point does he ever talk about why he was going to Raxus. That never comes up.
Even if she asks?
If she asks, he gets back onto the topic of using a few slips of fabric to enlighten both of their evening. He deflects at every opportunity.
She's not going to push too horribly. She's making a note of it.
All right.
But isn't pushing.
And it was a very pleasant evening, of which is you to decide. The rest of you awaken. Buckthorn, you find that your gear has been expertly shined and polished. Every strap of lever has been nicely greased. And the Boggle stands there, expectant. You've also got all your resources back, don't forget to check those.
Has anyone else been made aware of the Boggle?
No. During your time coming back to the fort and talking along with Taj and such, he has not been in sight at all. Like, it's almost like he escaped your notice. And at the moment, you seem to be the only one who's risen, and it might have been by artificial means.
Am I to believe this is the sole amount of your handiwork this evening? Or last evening?
To personally affect you, sir? Yes, it is, absolutely. No, right now I'm just merely reconnoitering. I'm getting used to the location. But I would never do one to assuage yourself, an honorable being.
Well, try not to be... Try not to reduce the number of occupants through your travails.
Oh, no, sir. No, I'd never go that far. No, of course not. But he is grinning a little bit. No, I would not bring shame upon your household or name, sire. Although you do look across and you can see that her shoelaces have been tied together. Donkin's hand is in a glass of water, which is starting to bubble and boil. and Mr. Pig is in Zarina's bedroll.
That may have just happened naturally. I have no evidence against the otherwise.
Some girls have teddy bears, some have swine. I will rein it in, sir.
No, just use your best judgment.
Absolutely, sir. Thank you very much. And then you watch him walk to a rat hole in the door, or in the wall, and just fucking vanishes in it. Like, his head shouldn't fit in there, but it all squeezes in with no issue. But your stuff is looking pristine now.
Yeah, I see if there's any tea about, and I put it into the cup of water that is being boiled.
And yes, the rest of you steadily awaken to a fine new day.
Breakfast. How many oatmeals today? Ooh, 9 oatmeals.
What?
Yeah, as you
I
all,
don't
as the
know.
rest of you now get to see, Duncan sit back, relax, command his spoon with "feed me," and it does.
I'm keeping this thing in my spellbook.
Does it honestly play a game of "Here comes the Manticore"? Ooh, it's
Oh
coming
God,
in for a landing.
where? Ah, no! Don't say that.
It does wait. It does hover in front of his mouth to wait for him to finish chewing, and to clear the airways.
I gotta find out who made this thing.
I plop down next to Fern and just go, isn't he entertaining?
He's a lot of something. I'm honestly not sure what to put down here in my notes.
A lot of something.
Yeah, that's about accurate. Yes, that should go in the notes. He's a lot of something.
I don't want to be mean.
That's not mean. It's
No,
accurate.
no, that's why it's something. That's why it's not something specific.
He's very useful in his cases, just he needs a little bit of babysitting.
Why do we say this about every one of your characters, Pan?
They're all useful in different ways.
Yes.
But still requires supervision.
Hey, Lou actually did a lot of good work.
Remember when
So you have to give him props.
Remember when Chicago was the actual job giver? That lasted all of a session.
Chicago, I need to assemble a crew, a crack crew. I'm the worst member. I'm not like George Clooney.
I'm just gonna put my knife in the cracks of his ship and see it sink into the ocean.
He's no good.
Anyway, back to the scene, yes.
Mm-hmm.
I give Fern a little prodding and says, so that Seafoam, have you dealt with him before?
He's usually kind of a sleazy guy, I think that's what it's called. I don't know, he doesn't do a whole lot with me. Just thinking, you were very confident with him, though. Have you met him before? You didn't seem to have.
No, I had not.
But you could just talk to him like that, and...
If she had met him before, she wouldn't be.
Oh?
I caught him trying to sneak into my room.
What?
Through the window.
What?
And chased his ass out of there.
You got him in an arc, and you saw that some tabaxi do land on their feet.
You couldn't have told me this last night?
Why did you think I wasn't going over to go investigate his things?
I didn't know, but...
It's a conflict of interest.
It was a couple of years ago, to be fair.
Well, I suppose some lessons have to be learned by oneself.
Yeah, but I could have asked him about that.
Fair enough.
I'm not sure if I would feel better knowing the reason or not.
I mean, there could be a very good reason.
It would have been the most fun if you had asked him when everyone was present, I believe. Just to see his reaction.
Well, I have wondered, was there anything that you had that he might want to take?
I cannot think of anything.
I mean, there's a few shiny baubles in the home. But yeah, I mean, it was a very quick affair, so it's not like you got an answer.
Maybe he was wondering where you keep the other Zarina.
Well, they're...
That's an interesting question there in that case.
Yeah. I mean... no, I think my sister left for other areas.
There's 3 Zarinas?
There's a whole family line of Zarinas.
But there's 2 of you. I saw it happen with the wave and the...
So you have
punching.
You have a whole bloodline
Was
thing
it-
going?
Yes.
Doesn't that make dinner time confusing, though?
Generally, no. depends on how many girls are born.
And it's just Zarina. You don't get an attachment or a nickname or anything?
We get titles.
Oh, what's yours?
I haven't made mine yet.
What's your mother's? Or was she not a Serena?
No, she was definitely one. See, I think she was of the 4 eyes.
She wore spectacles?
Yes,
Oh. Okay.
she was an
Wizard?
exceptionally good spotter.
Oh. I would have thought something, hawk-eyed? Or a perceiver. What was the... what's the most, impressive for you?
The what?
Is there a title or, ancestor that's particularly impressive for you?
Which one? Probably of the 40 hammers.
She threw a lot of hammers?
She led a dwarven battalion.
Oh. That is surprising. Fern just looks at the rest of his silence.
I'm just musing on if I could catch up with Seafoam to ask what the heck.
He has probably departed now.
Yeah.
Well, but not all the titles are, glorification. I mean, sometimes not much happens, or sometimes something strange happens.
Such as?
Well, there was Zarina the Broken Jaw.
Oh. That's about her, not that she was a pit fighter who gave people broken jaws?
She broke her jaw and she could no longer speak.
Terrible.
Mm-hmm.
And what about one of the strange ones?
Strange in the name or strange in how they got the title?
It's the latter?
Well, that would be the great-great-grand aunt, Zarina of the Platinum Ass.
I want to know. Oh, I do want to know.
Well, she was a standard adventurer and pretty good with a lockpick. So she went venturing into a wizard's tower, picked the lock, got in, stole a few things. And while she was making her escape, he turned her horse into an ass made of platinum.
That's the better outcome? Poor Horseful.
It could still move, it could still eat. And she was just known as of the Platinum Ass.
Strange way to get revenge. I'm going to give you something incredibly expensive that's still useful in living? Poor horse was probably confused.
Very. At least from the stories that have been passed down.
And then Tajin wanders in. I heard that. I raise you the golden arse.
All right.
I'm pretty sure platinum is more expensive.
But this is not mere a case of a donkey made of metal. No. Listen to this, right? Now, this is said to be in Schult, in the Great Jungles. There was, for some reason, a clan of dwarves, albino dwarves, if you will. Still had beards, not a scrap of hair on their heads, and not a bit of coloration in the skin either. Pale as,
Wizard.
Well, that's not very good. I mean, some wizards come from other places. Pale is your boy or naysayer? Probably paler, actually. You need to get some sun.
I do get sun. I go
Artificial sun?
outside.
Just smearing zinc and butter on himself. Mom says I have to.
If you want, Renace, I can put a sun inside right now.
No, he's buttering his mutton chops, you know, instead of beard oil.
Oh God.
Butters the chops. Keep
Oh
them
God! And later in the day, after
drying
enough sun,
out.
he just ruffles his hands and it all sounds all crinkly and crunchy.
Would prestidigitation even help with that? If it's intentional?
I don't think it discriminates, but good luck.
There's too much butter for the spell. I need to upcast prestidigitation.
Can you upcast a cantrip?
You should be able to.
I'll allow it if he expends a spell slot for it.
3rd level prestidigitation. You shall be clean, damn it.
Right. Anyway,
and the chops just disappear.
Right. So anyway,
They were.
Tribe albino dwarves. They are making a great golden statue to their main lord. Not a deity this time, it's just the head chief dude. Big egotist on him. Massive fucking vanity. And what they did was, he didn't want just a statue. Just one depiction. He wanted it to change with the times and himself. He was a fussy one, always changing his weapon, his armor. So, it had to be made modular, which means they had to make the statue nude. And he wanted it anatomically correct. So that they could then forge the equipment and basically weld it on, then weld it off later. Bits and pieces.
What?
Aye. They're weird onesies. A bit of a brain rot, I think, from the jungle plants. So anyways. There's a prankster. Not a dwarf, but a kobold spell scale. Very rare. And it snuck in, it saw the statue, and it giggled. Giggle of delight on seeing this stupid, naked dwarf statue. With a big old todger. And what he did was, he crept in and hammered a shiny, but very flawed ruby right in the crack. And enchanted it with a daylight spell, so the sun would shine literally from their arse. Which is a bad thing when you're an albino. This made him fucking furious. And he had the statue... Well, he attempted to destroy the statue. But it wasn't entirely melted down immediately. Bits and pieces first. The arms, the head, the stuff that was easier to cart around. Because an arse is huge on a statue like that. The kobolds stole it. It's not got any legs to it now. It's not got the front bits. It's just a big pair of golden burnished cheeks. Brightly shining sunlight. And apparently it's used for a watchtower way down south in the jungles. If you get on a tall tower in Port Nanzaru on the right kind of day, just as the sun's sinking down, you can get a glimpse of the golden arse.
Well, I know where I'm going after this. So long, Boarside.
I see a problem with the original statue because when they went to weld things on, wouldn't they inevitably end up accidentally welding the wiener?
Well, no, you do the front half of the pants and the back half, and then you join them on the sides.
I guess we have to go
But then
find
you have
out.
to at least weld the, the crotch region underneath.
No, you forge
Otherwise, you're
that.
going to have a gap in the pants.
Well, no, you just forge that one to take the package. And I mean, they were dwarves, so I imagine they're actually quite skillful in that regard. Do you think it had right angles? They do like to have straight angles in the forging.
Well, I was just saying if it was half and half, then they would have to meet in the side.
Aye.
But then, yeah, there would still be an inside leg seam that would need to also get welded.
Hmm.
We have tiny dwarfs. They just get in there, crawl up and down.
It were a big statue. Apparently each of the cheeks is about the size of, let's see here. Suppose if Sir Buckthorn there curled up a bit, and then probably Donk, you climbed around, you're skinny enough. Aye. Be about that conjoined size. It's not quite bigger than that. It's not like an orc or something. It's pretty big.
I was thinking like the size of this house.
Oh, no, no,
Well,
no.
see, they could probably get in there to weld it, but I'm just still thinking that the heat might inevitably weld the dong. And what man wants to risk his own dong getting melted?
Well, it is
Even
gold,
in
so it could have just
backstory.
been hammered out again.
I suppose.
There's one thing that can take a beating. It's one of those.
Hard to disagree.
Well, a different kind of beating.
Oh yeah.
I believe I've won.
Yeah.
Or does the platinum ass survive? I need a round of applause here, some kudos.
I already told you I'm leaving after. That's where I'm going next. I mean,
True, but I think you're an easy one to win over here.
this might be true. Might be true.
Not to take any shine away from you, but I just think the Golden Art is an amazing thing. It's the art story you want to keep in your mind.
Renee's is taking notes.
And Fern is just pretty red-faced.
It does seem like a bit of a strange story.
I've seen dwarves do crazier things.
Still, modular and welding. That doesn't seem right. Wouldn't you
One
use
sword.
something? Wouldn't you use something that you can take apart easier?
Ah, but if it were easy, then it wouldn't make him so impressive. You know, it's the ego thing. His vanity is so powerful that he would have his smith masters toil and work for months on end to get this job done, because he's worth it.
I suppose.
I got a really good dwarf story. You guys want to hear it?
Sure.
Aye.
I once saw a dwarf do a backflip out of a burning building. Yeah, you believe that?
Right. You say this was
Did you
impressive.
push him?
I'm
I was
going to
outside.
regret this, but why was the building on fire?
Well, there was a small number of kindling put in the bottom floor. Then kind of little bit of oil, flammable oil on the outside. And then I just hit it with a fireball. It ignored all that stuff.
Why?
You know, I was gonna roll insight, but I think he just admitted it. Never mind.
Yeah.
He's just flat out.
Fern raises a finger. Why?
It did seem like a good idea at the time.
No, Donkin, that's not the right answer. Please.
Failed to account for the fact that it was cold and we needed a place to stay that was not on fire. Oh well.
But you made it on fire.
And for the rest of the night, I was forced to make fire so everyone else didn't freeze to death.
Fern puts her head on your shoulder, Zarina is closing her eyes, making annoyed noises. You just remember she's trying to write up Donkin's file, and all she can say is he's something. She can't bring herself to write something bad, but he's not making it easy.
I can safely say nobody died that day, at least in the immediate area.
Okay, I thought it was gonna be one of those: make a man a fire, he's warm for a day; light a man on fire, he's warm for
for
the
his
rest of his
entire life.
Now he landed in a snowdrift. It was all good.
That does seem like how Donkin would live his life.
I'm helping.
In a way.
You said he was cold.
Yes, but yeah, just yeah.
I think I want to start the day.
I agree.
I have to go hunting. Gotta test out this spoon.
Donkin,
Taking a
let's
spoon
do
hunting.
work. We can test it on the way if we find anything.
We're probably on the way back, but yeah.
So, does anybody have opinions on what we should do?
We can check out the wizard's house again.
I mean, there aren't any other towns that are nearby, are there?
We've been to most of them. Hang on. Doo-ba-doo.
Because if we can try to beat who's ever doing this to a place before they get there, we could actually save somebody, which would be a change.
I will say this is something I completely forgot to do each time, is I've mentioned the place and then forgot to add the note if you've been there. I just have a list of the towns here. So this is Fort Avernook. You've been to Pursefall. Cheswick Round is the under construction place. And you've been to Roarbrick Farm. Yeah, so Pursefall was the small smattering of houses, little hamlet. So that still leaves Mire Boulders and 3-Day Fall Peaks. Which is a hell of a walk.
Is that outside the area that is being affected? I don't know. Who knows?
It's pretty high up there. That would be at least a 3-day horse ride. It's still, in our operating area where we're meant to go and keep an eye on, but I'll be honest, we do skim a little bit on those days. Usually we ask for Groft and Urgak to help.
I don't know if they're prepared to face, singing necromancers or whatever it is.
You want to say that to the face? Please say that to the face. Come on. Come out with me and say that to the face. I want to see it.
I have learned not to talk to people who are bigger than me, which is most people. So
I really want to see that, though.
I mean, I'm sure they could hit it really hard, but if they get charmed beforehand.
So great, you're now insinuating they're easily charmed. This is perfect. Groft! Groft, come in here, mate!
Yeah, you're gonna make me send him. We're gonna have to send him now.
You're getting in trouble.
There you are, my big lad.
Hey, good morning, man.
Hey, fire boy. You
So you
hiding
guys usually
here
go
or
up to
just
that,
you?
What?
Because you're on fire.
I am on fire, as are many things around me at times. Not right now. I mean, there's a torch.
What you want? Oh, the lad here was just talking about you a wee bit. He was suggesting a wee patrol path for you, weren't you, mate?
Oh, specifically, I had questions about the specifics of your patrol pattern, being as some of the further out towns, a few days away. We're wondering if we should go check on them on a recent events due to all the charming and people leaving going on.
Groff looks like he's been lost in the conversation already.
So, you know that far village you go to, the furthest one?
Yeah, 3-Day Fall Peaks, aye.
Well, we're just thinking whether or not we should go there or send someone up there to check to see if everyone else has been evacuated.
Oh, fuck. He doesn't get to say I go there. That's a fucking long haul.
Do you think it's worth it? Do you think, tactically, if you were facing a necromancer of some sort?
I mean, I have to do the job.
It's on the list. But actually, for the rest of the party, should we just try to find... There's got to be a hideout somewhere, right?
Wow, where the fuck is the rest of the party?
In the
I'm
hideout.
just waiting for other people to talk.
Yes,
They all-
you can do that, but the rest of them, you have no excuse.
Hmm.
Communicate, speak for the love of fuck. I'm already playing 4 voices in this room right now.
Bernace can talk.
Yeah.
Zarina and Buckthorn can also talk. Everyone can. It's a skill you have.
Well, skill is a strong
Hey,
term in my case.
It's just that I'm
I
I'm
talk
not
very
sure where to
eloquently
start.
there.
where to start either.
What were we saying,
Stop
Brad?
speaking Elvish, or Sylvan, or Fey, or whatever it is.
I can tell you, it's not primordial.
Well, not your particular flavor of primordial.
The spicy kind.
Kind of surprised Buckman doesn't try to kill me for assuming he speaks Elvish.
Well, you said it wasn't.
No, Afternoon Nap accused you of speaking Elvish or Sylvan.
Yeah. Though Sylvan is actually the Fey language, I believe.
Generally.
Yeah.
We also have the standing stones mentioned in the note. And we could also check out the wattled comb. That's one of the main travelers' inns. A bit more to the west, but might be within the area that these guys have been rolling around in. Seems like a place they'd target.
Could at least warn him. Although, do you guys
Alright.
have room if we evacuate people to keep them in the keep?
Yeah. It'd be a little bit of a push. Might need to get some more bedrolls out.
But as a last ditch, if we don't figure out who's doing this quickly.
Yeah.
Are any of those places close together, by any chance?
They're all kind of out on their own at this point. Standing stones would be closest, I suppose, to Cheswick Round. Although, again, it's sort of by its... I mean, it's on the way past the Hero Sword as well. The Wattled Comb, that's just on the road. That is quite a ways out by itself. I mean, that's the point. It's almost a full day's travel because you're going to be bedding there.
I mean, either way, I'd be for the one that's the least amount of work.
That's not quite the ethic we want here.
What about the saving of the most people?
That's a bit more on the lines.
Can't believe I'm the one saying it.
So am I.
Well, you do need something more written than something.
Alright, let me rephrase that. Not the least amount of work, but the most efficient kind of work.
That usually involves fire. I'm down.
No, it doesn't. A lot of efficient things that don't involve lighting things on fire, Duncan.
Cooking's not one of them.
I mean, if you light everything on fire, the problem is solved in some capacity, I'd say. Not in a desirable way, but it is solved.
Let's stick with desirable ways, please. I mean, the heroes in the Weathercrest mansion didn't just set everything on fire and they solved things. And she was losing a bit of convincing steam on that one.
Oh, wow.
Krisari might have pumped you guys up, but she still wrote fairly accurately.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm not the one setting things on fire. I'd rather do the opposite.
But it's also the company you keep.
It would be an accessory in any murders I commit.
I will say I did not choose this particular company, as I point at Duncan.
I can end you, Catman.
He's just he's just a little too eager.
Just the first thing that comes out of his mouth. It doesn't even enter his brain.
Okay.
Are you just talking about ability or intent? Weak boy.
Okay, I'm gonna cut
only
this
frogs get to call me
conversation
that.
right here. So, what are we going to do, guys? How about we go to the inn?
Yes.
I like inns.
The most people would probably be there.
Let's go before
Yeah.
we start having issues.
We
More
already have
issues.
issues before they get worse.
I corrected myself. I did say more issues.
True.
I wonder, would Duncan die if the flame on his head went out?
Can we please not have such discussions?
Only one way to find out. Get me a bucket.
Don't you start.
No.
My secret name is Charmeleon.
No, you're more of a Lidwick.
All right. Let me put it this way: the first one of you who tries to put Duncan's head out will be meeting my daggers.
What if I tried to put it out?
Do I say it? Do I
You
say
are
it?
free
Do I
to do
say
it yourself, Duncan.
I want to say it so bad, but at the same time, no.
Taggart leads in. Do it. Come on, I want to see.
Let's just bring it, pussycat.
Don't.
All right, fellas.
I'm just mildly speculating.
Let's just go to work, shall we? I imagine it's been a
Yes.
hard day this morning, an hour after we got up, but I'm sure we'll be able to push on through and have a good, productive rest of the day.
Yes,
I
let's get
agree.
going. Can I use the doldrums to make Subtle Storm start walking?
You can.
What's the roll that I have to make on that?
Let me double check here what the save is. I think it's Wisdom, IQ, Charisma. Let's see.
Oh, I love these drums.
I don't make mistake. Yeah, it'll be a Charisma save. But it does also
It's my
expend
spell
one of your.
PC, right?
It does also expend one of your bardic inspiration.
Worth it.
You little rat! You stop that right now! And you see
And
the
she's
daggers.
walking away from me as she's doing this. I'm sorry, I can't hear you.
As the drumming
She
gets
pulls
louder.
the daggers out. She pulls the daggers are now in her hand. that
Whoa,
didn't exist
whoa, whoa!
before.
Easy now. As Fern grabs your wrist. Please, no.
Can't believe I'm the one who didn't draw a weapon.
You will not touch the halfling.
Ernace, please apologize. We're not to use our abilities on other people unless it's for healing purposes or helping them, yes?
He did
Oh,
help
he-
her.
he's
He
moving,
did
I
put
was
it out of the
helping.
way.
Please? Just say you're sorry in this case, and we'll let these knives go back into your mind or wherever they come from, Subtle Storm.
Yes, no reason to be sorry.
Listen to the
I'm
cat.
waiting for the apology.
And then Subtle Storm will apologize well for drawing a weapon on a friend.
I'm just making a reminder. Where's my apology?
It's a rather forceful reminder.
Oh, let's be realistic. I wouldn't have actually stabbed him.
Are you
Yeah.
sure about that?
Not much.
Yeah,
I mean,
he's not you,
seen how-
Duncan.
I mean, you've seen how he reacts to pressure a lot of the time.
Mhm. That's why I thought it would work.
I mean, to be fair, it would have probably been enough to threaten him to shave his mutton chops.
Where's the apology?
Not needed.
Ernace.
I agree.
Now it's
It
one thing
is
to just
needed.
talk. It's just one thing to talk about people, but you actually used your magic item on her.
Yeah, it's pretty good, isn't it?
It's not the point.
No.
No,
We have to trust one another in this situation. We have to know we've got each other's backs. We're all meant to be in this together.
I agree. Yes.
Which
exactly.
means these also go away. She's bringing down Subtle Storm's arm. Because I know they only appear when you think about them. Please stop thinking about them.
I
You know-
make them go away. Where's the apology?
Way ahead of you. I'm not thinking about her at all.
Ernace.
She's right in front of you.
I just look over to Fern. Do you see what I have to deal with?
That's not helping.
Let's go, Sir Hoppity.
Then you just get a lance for your ear.
If we all draw our weapons, we can have a Mexican standoff. Let's go, guys.
So mentally,
No,
This
that-
evolved into a Deadlands campaign real quick.
mentally, Ernest just hears a voice in his head. You should be apologizing right now.
Meanwhile,
should we get
afternoon
going?
taps him on the shoulder. You're doing
should-
fine. It's all right.
You should be apologizing right now.
He's wondering if he doubles
Come on,
down.
man.
Actually, yeah, Ernest, I
Come
really
on,
didn't
little
appreciate
man.
when you said you were going to pour a bucket on my head. Can you please take that back?
All right,
Okay,
let's
I
not
won't
bring
pour
up.
a bucket on your head. Well,
Alright.
okay. Can it be an empty bucket?
If you're pouring
That's-
air, sure.
Wait, would that snuff him out like a candle? I have to think about this.
Don't blow too hard.
You know what, Ernest? Let's be on our way.
Yeah, I said let's go.
You know, should we split the party? Actually, it might be maybe the safest thing.
Ernest, Nap grabs your hand, and both of us become invisible.
Yay, we're leaving.
We can still hear you.
I know where you are.
So what?
Mentally, I know where you are.
Now you might need to
I
see him
always
to
know
do
where
your
you are.
mind reading on him.
No, I do not, because I already made the link.
Yeah, I know where I am too. Let's go.
Where are we?
This is
Over here.
This is gonna be such a long day.
I know.
Fern's just clutching her clipboard against her chest as she's walking out of the fort with you all. So
I
head's
give her
down a
a
little
hug.
bit too.
I give her a hug. We'll make this day better.
Just hope they don't do that sort of thing again.
As
I
do
hope
I.
he doesn't as well. Yes, that was very unpleasant.
A few things to ask as well, but I'll do it later. It's not right.
What's
Last
that?
Use
What?
for bardic inspiration yet.
It's. I gotta get this out of my head first.
All right.
And off you walk, and I'm sure it's quite a tense atmosphere after an hour when the visibility wears off.
Donkin's just happy he wasn't the one to draw weapons first. It should have been me, but it
I
wasn't.
imagine the marching order is Ace and afternoon nap. Then we have probably Donkin just because, and then Zarina, Subtle, and Buckthorn.
I'd be up with Fern.
Well, yeah, she's with Serena.
I do make sure to stay between Anise and Subtlestorm.
I'm just saying, there's a defined gap in the party marching at this point. I feel some don't want to hang out with others.
Oh, I'm so disappointed in me for once. Yay.
Are you sure, Wick Boy?
I can end you too, tiny man.
And now Donkin is walking alone. And it is a grim gray day. It's still bright, but the colors just aren't there really. It's not wet, but it is one of the fun descriptors here, muggy. As in, there is water in the air, it's felt everywhere. But it's just not, it's just not falling from the sky right now.
Miserable day.
I am wet and soggy.
Yeah, it does feel like your fur is a bit denser right now and heavier. Like, it's different
Keeps
from
the
humidity.
butter from drying out.
It's different from humidity. It's cold. And just
Don't like
eventually
that.
the drips start to form.
So, I am the fire guy. You guys want fire?
That is a pathetic
As he
fire.
flicks out his hand to conjure a ball of flame and it rolls off his fingers. Fuck.
It's just It's just too cold, humid. It just immediately goes out.
Oh. I just looked at Fern. He needs some help.
I have a different one. Have multiple fire spells.
Don't start a forest fire, please.
Oh, there's no way those
I
trees
thought
are
he was
catching
gonna
fire.
switch hands.
There's no way those trees are catching on fire.
Right now, Fern's hair looking like a soaked mop. She's just trying not to look at you guys.
Do you want to borrow my cloak?
I'm alright. I'm alright right now. I just get to the destination. I can warm up there.
Okay.
It becomes mundane, banal trudgery. That's the worst kind of traveling on the road as well. Duncan? There is something fiddling around with your backpack.
You know, not to alarm anyone, but we may have tracked a certain friend along with us from the fort. Or we're about to be attacked. Let's check my backpack.
What does he find in his backpack, Subtle Storm?
Hey!
It's gonna be pretty obvious who did it. Because he also sees your whispery... Because is your mage hand invisible at this point?
It's invisible, yeah, completely invisible.
Well, it's a case if he
Meanwhile,
still
I'm checking
spots
for my
you,
rat.
he still spots you focusing on it.
It's probably a spoon. Probably something from his mess kit.
It's a small, stubby spoon for a broad, tiny hand.
See, this is why I keep my good spoon in my spellbook.
It's definitely not yours.
Well, I guess I am now the utensil king.
Was your other spoon pregnant?
Oh god, I didn't consider that. We did just...
Spoons can do that.
Well, maybe
That's why they
magic
call
ones
it spooning.
That would make sense. I don't know. I just have this Nork.
can. Oh, I have to swaddle this baby spoon. I'm gonna raise it well.
What?
I'll wrap it in a napkin.
Storm looks baffled and just looks
There's
at
just
Fern.
there's wide eyes from Fern. It's just, what? She's just...
Well, I think Buckthorn's right. It's a magic spoon. Who knows what it can do?
Be sure to
Is
keep
this
it
going
warm for
down
the
in
first
your
week
notes?
at least.
Luckily, I am perfectly suited for that particular task.
I don't want to put this in my notes.
Fern, I think this is the best way to just describe the situation with him. Just put it in the notes.
There's a sniffle and she's just pressing herself against Serena's side. The one who hasn't let her down.
Okay, in my inventory. Now it's good.
What do you call it? Spoon Junior?
Baby spoon.
Will cause problems eventually.
It's a few more hours and there is the grim, there's the grim, reluctant agreement that it's time to break out the rations and rest the feet for a little bit, even though you're out here on the open road. Bernace, you're missing a spoon.
That was my good spoon.
It feels like you might have
Johnny-
seen that spoon quite recently.
Donkin is currently cradling it. He's holding his other spoon over it, saying, "Look at your child, spoon.
That's not how spoons work.
This one feeds me for me. I don't think that's how spoons work anyway."
That's not how your spoons work.
He's just looking at his Nork. He'll never be able to eat soup.
You know, for a small fee of just a few copper child support, you can have it back. Wait, I would have paid child support in that case. No, just take it.
Yay, spoon.
Oh, I am so glad my spoon wasn't pregnant. I was not ready to be a father.
I'll agree on that.
Did you do it to your
We have to
spoon?
agree on that. Fern is actually sobbing a bit.
Storm just gives her a pat on the back. It's okay.
Donkey,
It's
could you
Donkin.
please explain what you do to your spoons?
I found it like that.
Can't re-virgin his olive oil.
checking over his spoon, making sure it's okay.
Was
Didn't
very well
bend it,
cared
did
for
you?
in those
Yeah.
few hours. He's got a little bib now.
I mean, it's warmer to the touch than it has been for a while.
And I gotta
Oh,
delete that from
boy.
inventory.
I only meant for that to be a practical joke. I didn't expect us to be talking about spoon child support.
Do you say that out loud in character?
I'm calling.
Yeah.
Damn, I keep calling it a Nork. I
Great.
forgot. I named it a Fife because of the connotations.
Ugh.
You know,
Isn't Nork the
normally
enemy
I'd
from
berate you
Spyro?
for such a thing, but no, I don't think even I could have predicted this. I don't think anyone could have predicted this.
This is where I'd have you roll insight to see if you convince yourself that baby spoons exist.
No, he'd then remember that teaspoons exist.
God.
What if they're just the halflings of the spoon generation?
Spoon D&D races.
And a ladle is a Goliath equivalent.
I don't know how spoons work.
You know exactly how they work, you just don't know their history of production.
Yeah,
That sounds about right.
they may reproduce. Who knows?
I know spoons don't appear in the wild. Or do they?
Fern,
They
are you
grow on a
alright?
bush? Would they be a tuber underground?
I will
They
be.
say he carved it himself from a bigger spoon.
Just take a deep breath. Take several deep breaths, as a matter of fact.
Just trying to
He's
get
all
steady.
fine.
You know, spoons almost certainly grow on bushes.
No.
This is kind of how adventuring works, Fern.
I'm waiting for
No.
Buckthorn to point out, they do in my glade.
Where do you think sporks come from?
Oh no.
They must be
don't tell me
carefully interbred.
And Feywilds are truly home to all sorts of amazing things.
It's the only perfect method of eugenics that has been established to create the optimal spork. You must create one deep enough with a great enough volume, but also with tines long enough to penetrate.
But not so long they poke you in the back when you're sipping soup.
Indeed. Although you're meant to use the fucking side of a spoon, you Neanderthal.
I just put the whole thing in my mouth.
Cleo.
Forks once had 2 very long tines. Now they have 4 medium-length tines. Do you think this came about naturally? No, through careful breeding.
Oh, Mr. Uppity. She feels a little unsettled that he's now joining into this insanity.
Somebody had to take on, the fork and spoons and knives. I mean, we haven't even talked about knives. They get huge.
Are you a chef?
I cooked a couple things.
But are you a chef?
Don't say there are people. Don't say there are people.
I was gonna say they were people, but now I'm not.
I don't know.
Yes,
he may have
chefs
cooked
are-
that dwarf from what I heard.
He was
Chefs
fine.
usually are people.
Have I cooked a chef? I don't know.
If you're
I hope
in,
you haven't cooked people.
I think if you were someone who worked in a manor under a lord, knowing the various types of utensils would be helpful. In the current situation, no.
Also, Cyberstorm, given his general use of fire, I'm pretty sure he has cooked people before.
I mean, you see a bandit on patrol, you don't want to see that bandit again.
Well, someone in a manor would surely be knowledgeable about domestication of tableware, because how else would you get blunt, unsharpened knives? These don't come about without any other purpose but to serve as tableware. So truly the knife has been domesticated. Once only the purview of the chef, now even the culinarian can enjoy safe tableware.
But how do you grow a spoon that feeds the user of the spoon?
Well, that's training.
Ah.
No, that's magic. Sir Hoppity, please.
I love how we've all latched onto that name.
And tragically, I'm
It's
gonna give
magic.
I'm gonna give inspiration to the idiots. Ernest, Duncan, Buckthorn, you all get an inspiration.
Too bad, already had one.
Just for doubling down on this stupidity.
We're making his brain ooze out from his ears.
Oh no, I'm
Great.
perfectly fine in this case. I've talked to... Remember, I had a raft trade all talk about the bear on the ball with Sir Hoppity.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
guess
true.
That's the thing. Those two, Tangent and Rafttree, they'd fucking love this conversation. They would go on it for hours. And that's part of why Fern is so sad right now.
She thought she was going to escape her coworkers.
It takes
You?
She took too much psychic damage and died.
I guess. Let's see if she resets.
what?
Oh, there you are.
Oh, there
no,
we
you
go.
Oh,
got
it sounded
cut
like
off
you
there.
cut off. Yeah.
Yeah,
No.
you completely cut out.
I just said it takes all kinds.
Yeah, we only heard it takes.
Oh, okay.
Takes and
It
it takes and
it
it
takes all
takes.
kinds.
It takes. It just keeps
What
taking.
was that from? We had that as a theme for a bit.
It takes.
Yeah. It was on the lines of One Flesh as well. I can't remember what it came from, though.
That flesh ball that you were bragging about before you showed it to him?
I don't know.
I remember. Oh well.
Only thing I remember is God is dead and I am light.
Yes, God is dead, I am the light. Also, they took our faces and died because our faces were dirty.
Yep.
And then we got the scene of Uncle Touchy's Uncle Touchy's secret basement.
Yes.
And our characters got slightly angry about it and then walked away.
I can empathize with that.
At some point we'll get back to that game, because my god, what an opening line. God is dead and I am the light.
Yeah.
Said by a dog-faced man on the moon. Or
That's
Mars.
that's someone's homebrew campaign made video game.
And of course the perfect name,
Actually-
Rovernov.
I forgot about Rover now.
So, all throughout that bit, you were chewing and crunching on hardtack, on cheese, on a well-wrapped bread that has not gotten soggy just yet, but it feels like it could if you don't chew it fast enough in the air. And you rise up on sore, aching feet because there's more hours ahead of you. It'd be sweet if there was a wagon or something here, but you've only seen a couple rattling by, and they've been pretty fucking bare bones anyway. Like you were hoping, oh, we'd see nefarious guys in black clinging to the outside of one and covered up. No, you've seen open beds and like one shabby farmer that's sniffling and sneezing, while an old mule pants and drags itself behind the fucking thing because it can't walk up front, it's too old. Probably not the guys you're looking for. But if you want, you could try to flag one down.
Are they going our way?
They are, but you have a feeling that they're only slightly faster than you, and with your weight, they'd be slower. Unless you put unless you put Buckthorn up front.
We should probably at least give them a warning as they pass about there's some happenings to be on watch.
That'd be good.
Why is that boy on fire?
That's just how he is. Don't worry about it.
It's magic, basically.
That fella back there get polymorphed?
No,
Which
that's
fellow?
The one with
Buckthorn.
the ears, missy. You need a
Oh
shave.
no. No, we are all like this.
Well,
When it's
that's a
vaccine.
damn shame.
Right.
they were born this way, and they're quite happy with how they are.
Well,
Fire helps with handling people who talk.
one trash is another man's treasure.
I
I
look at
don't like
Fern.
them.
There is the reek of grain on his breath.
I do not like these people.
I wouldn't pay him much mind.
Would end his life, but we shouldn't.
No, you shouldn't.
No.
Don't even say that, please. Please, Donkin.
I said we shouldn't.
Yes, but the fact that you brought it up in the first place.
Well, we all knew we could. I mean, we're adventurers.
It's an inspection.
I am a fisherman, thank you very much.
You look like a cat.
I
He
like
Who
got
this
better-
the best of you there.
Who better to fish up things than a cat?
Yes.
2 cats.
A
Oh wait, we
worm?
have that.
A cat with a fishing rod.
Yes.
A
As I pull out my
frog.
fishing rod. A
what?
frog doesn't fish. A
A
frog eats flies.
Ah, you get a big enough toad, they could eat a fish.
When have you ever seen a toad eat a fish?
Well, it were about 60 summers ago. I was just getting settled down on my own farm. I got my second missus by that point. She was a beautiful half-orc maiden. She had fire in her eyes, and the field itself were barren, unlike her. We had about 15 kids by the second summer. And then I was just fishing one day to try and get away from the crying incessant in my home. I was wearing my hat tilted slightly to the left at that point, and also had a gauntlet on my right hand. Apparently that was just the fashion for when you were out in the wild at the time, just in case someone would try to bite down and slice open your wrist so you'd bleed to death. I wasn't going for that there. Apparently the left hand just wasn't something to go for. So I was sitting down with my fishing rod. He's continuing.
Yeah,
I gotta get a gun.
let's...
Gotta get a gauntlet for just my right hand. I should do that.
Can we just go?
Please, yes.
Have a good day, sir. Oh, you're interrupting my story, Missy. Sure,
Let's not tell him about the zombies.
I'll keep riding. It is looking like it's gonna rain soon. I was told that by some fella who looked like a handbag.
A lizard folk?
Burn does light up a bit at this. I think he was. One of them born dragons, though. Could have been one of them. Weren't shiny enough, though. You think you pull the scales off them fellas, you get a profit? Some of them are walking around covered in gold.
Oh, Lord.
You
They'd
do
probably
not
make a nice
skin
handbag
people.
at the least.
Even I would never suggest that.
Just wondering, though. You think they just pull one off, put it on the counter, and say, that's my fee?
No. I
Would you
think that'd be
it
like
if- Would you like it if someone skinned you and made you into a handbag?
Better moggies than you have tried, and only some have partially succeeded.
No, don't suggest to do it to other people.
I don't know, after a few
about
years
that?
you don't miss it anymore as he clunks down his peg leg. Quite
I could
exquisitely
have sworn they were gonna go
carved.
for the left hand.
It's quite exquisitely carved, but also it's of bone, not of wood.
no.
I should-
I don't think they'd take it because that'd be like pulling out one of your hairs and putting it down, saying that's payment.
Well,
What if you have golden hair?
I've heard
It's still
elven.
hair.
I've heard that's something those elven maidens try from the deep forests. Apparently, a couple threads of hair of them are meant to be pure, valued gold for magical purposes. I think it's just so you can do a bit of, what's the right word for it? Seeing. Not with your eye, but with magic, and just see him in the deep forest doing all kinds of things. Elf things. Staring off in the distance now.
We should go. Go while
Yeah.
I'm staring.
Quickly, yes.
He'll figure out the zombie thing on his own.
Fern gives a little tap to the donkey pulling the wagon so he actually starts moving again.
I
know
just
about
lean
the
over
elf
into Fern.
things.
I just say, doesn't make Donkin seem so bad.
Well, it's just some people get very isolated out here. I mean, Rorbrick himself isn't that great socially, but they do good, honest work. Can't say that about Donkin yet. I want to. I really want to. But I mean, he's had a long life. I mean, you can see this probably worn on him a bit. I did hear about the foot before. That was very nasty. He was a previous Manticore victim, although that was a long time ago. Donkin, perception check.
I'll get revenge for that man with no leg. Oh,
That's
-1.
performance.
Yeah, it's a -1.
He's pretending. He's pretending that he's looking. In the far distance, across a sodden field, there is one Manticore spike sitting upright in the dirt.
I can smell it. Mm. Kill that fucking bird.
And eventually, the party part ways with the farmer, who is going a different route, thankfully. And you find yourselves in front of a wattled comb, which is a pretty decent establishment of a tavern. So you can pull yourselves out into the map.
And let's see. Probably closer to there.
Oh wait, I'll have to jump maps to get a Fern token. Doesn't matter too much, but I forget to put her in the reserves.
Wait, where are we ending up? Bottom. Oh, bottom here. Okay.
And did she pay somewhere? Nope. There we go. It is a lovely, big, rich wood establishment. You're thinking about, you didn't notice this place before, but then again, it was a strange ride out. You were all kind of dulled by the long travel. As a proud sign of just a giant cockerel head and an immense comb that looks about 3 times the size of it, and honestly, not too dissimilar to Donkin's hairstyle.
It must be the rightful owner.
It's definitely rising up more at the back than it is at the front. There's many grooved-in wagon tracks at this point, and a few roads that split off in various directions. Like this, you were on the main road, but this does come to a good intersection of many smaller paths. Whew. That was an enlightening day. And the sun is already starting to dip. You're getting a nice sort of golden glow right now.
It was certainly enlightening.
I can't agree on that.
It's okay. I know
I'm
you
sure
don't think it's
some things
okay,
are okay.
but it is okay.
That's what my dad said before he left.
Oh.
Oh no.
And there's a hand on your shoulder immediately, Ernest.
Did he come back?
He said you can stay here for a while. I'll be back. 16 years, and then they kicked me out. I
And
can't
you're pulled
remember.
into a hug.
Let's go to the elemental plane of fire and look for our dads or nays.
He's just kind of staring at you wide, like, what?
It was the best place to get smoke, son. You gotta understand, it's a long walk. I was just on my way back.
I don't know if it was smoked sausage, maybe. I don't.
Oh, that
It
would be
probably
right.
was smoked sausage.
That would be great, wouldn't it? Yeah. But no, I'm going off for
Father
smoke.
went to get smoked sausage and never came back.
No, Dad, I'm going off for smoked powder. I'm going off for smoked sausage. Me, I'm going off for smokes. The orc going off for smoked meat. Changes by the race.
I guess with Genasi, they're just going back to look for the pure element.
Which one of you
I'm going
fucks
up
is
for
my
some
dad? Wibbles in fire. Well, you're
I guess
standing
we're gonna bust
outside
down
the
the
place.
doors.
Well, I guess since it's getting dark, we're going to rest here for the night.
Yeah, the night's going to turn a bit nasty, so we should. It's okay, I'll cover this one for you.
Thank
look at
you.
that dog
Oh.
barking.
That's nice.
We will be sharing rooms, though.
That's fine.
Okay.
She's just eyeing up her coin pouch and just sorting through it a bit.
Do you need a little extra to fill out your coin pouch?
I can cover this. I'm just trying to think ahead.
Okay.
Never know
Is
whatever
it comped
expenses
by
might
the
be ahead.
company? By the kingdom?
How
Oh.
expensive is the inn here?
It should only be a couple of gold ahead.
Ahead of what?
Well,
Per person.
yours, mine.
Oh.
So in your case, ahead of drums. And smoked sausages.
This is now going to be Donkin's thing. Huh? Every time he gets, he's going to bring up smoked sausages just to drive in the fact that you're parentless too. Crying as he's chewing on a smoked sausage.
But are all the prices the same, regardless of the size of the head or the contents?
Probably.
Actually, I've known they have charged more for Goliaths and Loxodon. It's because they take up so much room. But that's only if you're sleeping in the common room in the front, once they pack up for business. Private rooms, otherwise, it's just 2 gold ahead. That does include a jug of water and a bath. So, shall we go in?
Sure.
Can I get a discount because I don't take baths?
Duncan!
I mean, it's a legitimate question.
You could take it up with them, I suppose. And she just walks through the door.
What do you instead of taking baths?
Well, I either use
We
sand
roll
or
in a
magic.
fireplace.
She closed the door behind her as well. And she started hearing more conversation starting.
I open the door and go back in and shut it again.
I give Fern 4 gold pieces to cover myself and her.
Oh, you don't have to do it. No. I can cover this easily. It's fine. Like I said,
After today, I want to. I want to cover this for you.
you're sweetest. Thank you.
2 gold pieces for a stay. That's quite expensive.
And the moment you step in, it is an amazing shock to the system. Almost a thermal shock, in fact. The place is roaring with heat. It is dry and crisp. The air itself fresher than the outside because there's just none of that moisture hanging there, ready to fall in rain. It is an assault upon the senses with the smells of good, decent cooking. You can smell and recognize the various things that are going. There's nothing fancy. There's no melange of spices or anything out there. It's just, there is meat. There is vegetables. There are vegetables from the dirt and from the leaf. There is booze as well. But it's not reeking of it. It's not sloshed everywhere. Unfortunately, no music, but there is some general chatter. And one particularly loud voice coming from the cloth-festooned gentleman at the bar. And you can see beside him a rather jewel-bedecked lady, and beside them, only barely coming up past the height of a table, is some very buff-looking feline folk. And one that you assume is part of him warming himself at the fire with his golden scale, well, yellowed scales. Along with a few, just looks like general farm laboring folk that are sitting around, and 2 hunters with their dog.
Ernest notices that dog has a saddle.
It has a saddle.
He's getting ideas.
Analog cargo.
It's now your turn to do things.
All right. Who is bunking with who? Actually, we should probably ask what sort of rooms are available first.
I sleep in the common room. I'm sure people like to cuddle up to a fire person.
It's the only way you get physical contact, isn't it?
That's why he tried to get stationed further up north where it's cold.
Either way, I walk up to the innkeeper, the bar. Hello there.
Oh, a good lady by my side, please. Yes, there we go. Much better. Hello, yourself. Oh, yes, proprietor. Go ahead. I'll sort this one out myself. You can see that the dude is mounds of silver coins and copper coins all arranged there as he's just piling them up. Silver barman looks to you. Yes, hello, sir. How are you?
Yes, hello. We were wondering if you have 2 or 3 rooms, perhaps, for the 7 of us?
Well, with who we have right now, our esteemed guests, Mr. Boarside. I am working on this. I'll have enough to just continue on with your own customs. Continue on. Yes, as he's saying. The main suite might be taken up right now. There's just more jingling. But I do have a few rooms. I could let out... No, that's one of... No, you miscounted there, Mr. Boarside. Yes, there are 3 rooms here. There are 2 that are quite nice twin rooms. And then one that is more of a bunk down as you see fit. It could house 6, 7. I'm quite fine with that one going up to capacity as the rain is about to start.
Oh, the bunk room sounds good.
That'll be 1 gold ahead then. Do you have any pets?
Not that I'm aware of.
Says the cat as he looks back at the party with another cat and a bunny. And of course, Ernest.
Ernest was thinking, what about the bunny? But I was like, do I say it? Do I say it? No, I probably don't.
They're mascots, not pets.
They're furries, sir. They're allowed to go as they please.
They're behaved well enough to not shit in the corner, I believe.
You cannot say that with authority.
I believe.
That is
I have not seen them do it.
That is a wonderful endorsement, sir. I am pleased to hear that. Boarside, I'll help you with this a little bit here.
He has an interesting sense of humor. Please ignore the humor.
The woman
We have no pets.
Yeah. The woman beside the man known as Boarside, looking very bored right now and not impressed. While the little feline folk, waving hello, just greeting its afternoon nap and subtle storm immediately. And you get to notice that this kid is built already. Definitely a kid from the size of a head, but they have muscles that neither of you possess.
Sure about that? Afternoon has 16 strength.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
These are muscles of a nat 20, son.
Well, there's more than that you're realizing. The kid is, in a non-joke way, built different from you two tabaxi.
Leonin.
Yes, the cousin species.
And sure, it's just a kid.
Definitely a kid, yeah.
Well, he gets a wave back.
And then as he looks past Subtle, he notices Fern and runs across to her, leaping across the table. Oh, you've gotten big, haven't you?
Friend of yours?
Oh, this is what are you calling yourself now? Because he likes your tabaxi names. I am the warrior Fluttering Drape. Did your father appreciate that name? No, he did not. Hello there, I am Nectaros, proud warrior of the tribal chieftain Belzarik. Bealfrazik.
Subtle Storm, it's a pleasure to meet you.
Oh, you're one of the jungles.
Yes. Whereabouts are you all from?
Oh, we're from Jarrat, off to east.
Oh.
All the way into the desert savannah. Long grasslands that reach as far as the eye can see. And then after that, there's the harbours and the boats and the big cities. I prefer the bit that's flat, though. Amazing to run on. Your place has many hills, lots of rough ground.
Very true. It's a bit easier going up here.
And not as nice with the sky. It falls a lot.
Yes, I don't like that part. I fully admit I don't like that part.
But you get the powder. You get the frozen one. The sequel.
Snow.
Yes, snow. Yes. I'm still learning.
Unfortunately.
But it sounds fun. You throw it at each other.
You can.
It is kind of cool. Yeah, cool.
Donkin is just
Donkin,
the
that
lamest
was a
guy
good
in any
one.
room. And yet
That
he's
was a
permanently
good
on
one.
fire. Just like him styling is, it's cool. And then backs away again as he waits for people to laugh, and there's no laughter.
I did tell him it was a good one.
Yep.
I will give him it.
But was it true?
It was an appreciable effort.
The best part is the icicles.
Do you put the icicles over your head and then drink the water droplets?
I think it's more fun to hit the icicles with snowballs. And they fall on the ground. And then you pick them up. Fight them with like swords.
And Flutter Drape drags Fern away with him very easily, actually. He points out he always needs our help. He needs a requirement.
Okay.
Oh, all right. I have just not sorted out my pouches. Okay, I have gold here. All right, but this is still enough. All this is still more than enough for the room purchase. I have the coins I need. It's just you can see clearly the amount is here. I'll start to help. It's 2, 4, and she's just, expertly sliding the coins into nice, neat piles, whereas he had them in mounds. Every now and again, the coin towers would topple for him, and he wouldn't fix them. You guys can come on over and get something to drink. It won't take long to help. You do have enough here, Mr. Bissett. It's fine. Ah, Fernmite's desert flower, you're wonderful. Look at you, always just so radiant with that vibrant red. You are a true gem of the desert. Well, also of these grasslands here. I must say I shouldn't always use that one. That's more for the local ladies, not for this jewel such as you. It's just for fun. Zarina, Subtle, give me a perception check. As we're playing around more in this soap opera.
I am shockingly perceptive today.
The two of you are picking up on two important things. One is that Fern is actually doing the receptive thing of twiddling a bit of hair, fluttering the eyes a bit. But she's not looking at Besaid. She's looking past him.
Who is she looking at?
This guy.
I mean, look at him. He's a fine fetching dwarf. I might replace him one day. It's just, this is the saddest dwarf.
Yeah.
I was gonna notice everything.
Every time I see that token, it just makes me smile.
Why can I not resize him? Oh, there we go. Look at him.
Yeah. He's great. He's pretty great.
I think he's somewhere in the PHB. I think it's just the saddest dwarf. Or it might be from Skag, come to think of it.
Those
It's just-
tiny eyes too.
It's just what I've used for dwarven civilian.
Just
Yeah,
woke,
he's used. It's got lore behind it now.
he just woke up after a hangover, and the first thing he did was taste elven wine.
And I always have to do a double take. I always think it's shirtless at first.
Yeah, I thought the same thing. Yeah.
Are you two looking around to sort of try and match her eye gaze?
Sure.
Yep. I'm looking.
He's by the fire.
Yeah.
This guy.
Oh,
No,
no.
that's the roast pig.
The lizard folk.
It's a good thing you didn't bring Mr. Pig with you.
The lizard folk.
Because,
Pig would've
sure,
eaten that pig.
because he wouldn't get upset. But it's pretty fucked up to watch a pig eat pig.
Yeah,
And he'll do it.
he would.
Yes, there is a lizard folk there, also draped a bit like Besaid, but with his hands outstretched to the fire. So, do you guys want anything in particular?
Oh, anything is
Thank
good.
you.
And there we go. Yes, he can afford the room today. I told you, of course I've always had it. Thank you so much, Fun. You're always so helpful when it comes to these things. Most of these Val and such, they throw me off. They don't have the right weight as duration coins. Well, they're all worth the same, really. It's perfectly fine. I'll help you stash them. Come on, please. I'll sort them out. I have to sort them out. So, do you do anything? Do you involve yourselves at all? Or shall we skip straight to the combat as the guests draw their swords? As you
Alright,
try to
my dog.
test the might of this child.
No. It's a child.
They can fight me all they want, but I'm gonna ride that dog.
Children.
You could go ingratiate yourselves with him.
I would like to see that happen. I'll help if I can.
I'm waiting for a moment for Fern to be available.
Yeah. Besed and his unnamed acquaintance, they do head off to check the room. That is awful to see. Did you see the pile of it? Oh, he had nothing in line. There was 4 different kingdoms' money in there. Oh, that took a while.
It's a thing that just, you have to sometimes let it roll off your shoulders. So, who's the, and I nod my head over at the, lizard folk.
Oh, that's Yurev. He works with Besed. He's a desert tracker, guide, bodyguard. He's done a lot with their trading comes through.
I take it you know him well?
Not as... I mean, he doesn't say a lot. I'm not sure if he knows common. Why?
Oh god, he's another Steve.
Oh. I was just wondering. I
She's
mean,
looking like she's just been caught with her hand in the cookie jar sort of thing. When she says why.
I mean, it just looked like, he had your interest.
I'm perceptive. I like to take stock of a room and just know who's in it. And he stands out.
Fern, when he got mentioned, back the way you lit.
You fucking lip bra.
God, it is so lit, dude.
Fine, I will say you lit up.
For real, for real. Or do you just say FR, FR?
Fur. You go, yeah,
Prefer.
yeah, just say it. Fur.
They really trimmed down for real, for fuck's sake.
On God, dude.
Oh, man, we're getting to just civil. We're getting to less noises. Oh, sorry about that,
It
Rita.
works for me.
I didn't. Well, I know him, so of course it's good to know he's still around and safe and there. I do that for a lot of people who get mentioned. It's just I know him.
Fern, are you interested?
Yes. But he doesn't look. She's not said anything to him. Shit-eating grin on fluttering drape.
All right. Have you considered confidence?
No.
Well, will you consider confidence?
I was hoping that in all the times he'd stay by, we'd go through the checkpoint, and eventually he'd say hello, and I could say hello, and then that would be it, and he'd keep going. I think that's a good progress.
Why don't you say hello?
I couldn't do that.
If you need confidence, have you tried alcohol?
Gotta ask him if he likes fire.
All right, now he does.
No, okay.
There's a lot of people as well to be talking about this.
Would you rather this switch to a mental conversation so other people can't butt in? And get your opinions?
The do you like fire line works for me every time.
Like, if you would make the links, just saying, I'm rather not here from Donkin.
Yeah, she'll make the link. Yeah, okay.
But she's happy to have Zarina take part.
Yeah. So, I gesture for... Can I link? No, I cannot link multiple people. Let's all go over to another
Right now,
table.
she doesn't want to talk to people who are stirring shit or talking about baby spoons.
I just start dragging her over to the table. Let's go have a talk over here.
And can you really falter on that?
No.
Yeah, I vacated the bar. Now I can drink. Genius plan works again.
What are you having, mate? A fireball.
Yeah, come on, yeah.
Well, anything so long as it burns.
As it goes down instead of coming back up, hopefully.
Oh, I bet you want to dry.
Dry like the sand spells I also use.
Yeah, and you don't want to wet, because that'll put you out.
Hey, just like that rain out there. Yeah, man, yeah.
What kind of expression does Donkin have in this?
He's just grinning. It's forced, but he is very, very jovial.
But to be I say, I'm going to fucking light you up soon.
He's used to it to some degree. It's just he's going through the motions.
Tell you what, hot stuff, I got something for you here. It's a basic ass ale.
Yeah. Let me guess. It's either 2 silver or 2 copper.
Oh yeah, 2 copper in this case.
Excellent. This will do me just fine. I'll probably have a few more of these.
Well, just don't get too fired up.
I don't want to get feel too wet in the morning.
Yeah, well, just keep pouring it back and don't drown yourself out. And now suddenly a party might realize why Donkin is the way he is. Because everyone makes these lines at him.
I wish I had a silence spell.
Somehow I don't think that'd stop him.
I have a loudening spell.
Please, God, no.
Thaumaturgy.
I can silence them.
Not really, but that would be hilarious.
You say that, but I think he would just keep talking louder and louder and louder until either the silence spell ends, in which case he's screaming in the entire room, or he somehow overcomes it.
It's alright, he knows ASL.
That's fine, because I don't.
Start pouring water back and forth.
You silence him, he just starts throwing out thieves' cant.
Does that taste good?
Thieves' cant surprisingly good for puns.
As the kid sidles up on the stool next to you, Duncan.
Hello, large child.
Hey there, fire guy. So does that taste good?
No, it's not why we drink it.
Why do you drink it?
Because of the fire puns.
Oh, yeah, you are on fire. Does it hurt?
No. Other people get hurt sometimes.
Why are you on fire? Did someone get you with a spell? Are you cursed by a hag?
Sort of, there's something called, genies.
Are you a fey creature?
No, but I do know one.
Ah, there is very
Actually, I
little
think
of the
he's
fey
here.
in Drat.
Would you like to meet a fey creature?
I would love to, please.
Is he still by the door? Let me take a look for our bunny friend. Is he still there,
Have
Buckthorn?
you been mingling, Nil?
He's moved over to Ernest.
Yeah, I've gathered with the others at the tables here.
That is very descriptive, sir. Thank you. So, Duncan, you're going to inflict this excitable youth on him?
Although, I wonder if I tell him that Ernest is the fey creature. Yeah, Dongo will just lead him back to the table and say, guess which one of these two is a fey creature?
Are potatoes fey? Yeah.
He is staring at Buckthorn.
I stare back.
Wow. He said you're from the Fae?
What, Duncan here? He says many things.
Yeah, my dad's from the elemental plane of fire, too. That's actually true.
His spoon gave birth earlier today.
Luckily, paternity test came back, not mine.
Tragically,
Ernest, on the other hand.
Tragically, you have the kid enraptured now. He is all ears.
And Donkin will he'll be sipping his beer with the spoon.
At which point,
Duncan,
Fern
please.
changes
It's not
seats.
old enough to drink yet.
This one gave birth. It must. I mean, I hope so.
Afternoon nap. Were you doing anything?
Yes. How was the lizard folk called again?
Yerev. Does anyone know Draconic?
Yeref. I don't think I do.
I think the party does. But I just have to make sure.
No, I don't.
I know I don't, but let's check my sheet anyway, see if it's manifested.
Might be
I
on
do not.
Zarina or Subtle's sheet, maybe? That's the only ones I could think of. Am I
Nope,
taking
I have
it?
Dwarven.
Something like that?
In pronunciation, it's just in spelling, it's just that. Yerev.
Giraffe. Okay. Yeah. So, hello there, golden boy.
See him look up for a second, eyes closed. Greetings.
Unusual to see one of your sort around.
Is it wetlands?
I do believe so.
Is place of my people. Yes?
Yeah. I don't.
I mean,
I'm
you
not
know.
sure. Out of character.
Yeah, Afternoon
Yeah.
Napa Nova generally like swamps, wetlands. Yeah, lizard folk would live there. I mean, obviously that's not generally Rexes, but there are some damn places where you have bullywugs. But as for lizard folk tribes, you've never come across any.
Yeah.
Well, not here.
Yeah, so it's most likely this might be the first lizard folk I've actually seen.
Possibly, yeah. Good chance of it.
Yeah, no worries. Just kind of wondering.
Ah.
You're the first one I actually see myself.
Oh. Gratitude and safe wins.
Oh, well, to you too. And
You
warm sun?
are you are not like child.
No.
Different cat.
Yes.
Not cat. No.
I did hear about the big cats you have
Yes.
over there.
Tirmak. Leonen.
Yes. Yes, no, he is different. Like, I have heard of the kind which
You are
also looks
Kresma. Yeah,
somewhat
you are
similar to...
Kres here. Yes. Kres.
Yes.
Tibax.
I would say Tabaxi, yes. But mainly I was just wanting to speak with you because, well, just out of curiosity, I'd say. I did hear you were here with the gentleman with the many coins.
Mr. B said, employer, friends, tutor. We work for Sa Anima, rich lady.
Oh. Is she the one that was with you as well?
Yes.
Out of character, did you say witch lady or bitch lady?
What?
I thought you said rich.
Rich?
Rich.
Wealthy?
That's 2 strikes.
I mean, you could be all three. We don't know.
I mean, you might get to know her. Who knows?
That I completely misunderstood that.
Put them back in the room.
Okay. Yeah. Also, I've heard that you were supposedly not a man of many words. I take it...
I know many words.
I suppose your mentor is helping you with that as well.
I know language of my land. This land I'm learning.
Well,
I
believe...
You are water hunter?
Yes, a fisherman.
Fisherman. But you are Tibax.
Tabaxi, yes.
Not fish.
No.
Fish are water ones. Koreski.
Yes, there is a distinction between fish and fisher. Fisherman. It's a bit weird, but a fishman is not the same as a fisher man. It's a fair distinction. It's a bit difficult.
I am desert guide, but not desert. Is same.
Kind of like that, yes. But if you want to learn more, I think I know someone who could help you with that. See that lovely lady with red hair over there?
Before that, though, we'll jump to the girl talk table.
Yes.
And Farron is staring wistfully over at Yurev now and again.
You know, a lot of what you need in something like this is confidence. And the ability for things to, maybe you don't know how this is going to go, but you need the confidence to be able to at least come up and say hello.
I know a few ways it would go.
What's the worst that could happen?
I know my father would not approve, my mother would not approve, my sister would laugh at me, my brother, well, he probably wouldn't be there to see it. And, they say they don't actually have emotions? Why am I interested this way?
Well, I mean, you could always get to know to see if he does have emotions.
I've never met one before. Well, I've met him, obviously, but I don't know about them. I haven't really been able to read about them.
This is a good time to, talk to him. Learn about him that way.
Exactly.
What if he
Just-
doesn't? What if it's just,
Well,
I
then-
am someone he knows and I'm not lizard folk, so it doesn't matter?
Well,
Then you'll
you
learn.
know. Like, you saw me earlier talking with the fellow, yes?
How are you able to just do that? You just started chatting away and going with him, and I think some of that was flirting. It was hard to follow, I'll be honest.
Yes,
was
yes,
flirting.
a lot of that was flirting, yes.
It's like you two knew each other straight away.
No, a lot of that's practice. You just have to get out there and accept that sometimes things aren't going to go your way.
Her eyes widen a
Sometimes
little
you're
bit at the
going-
practice bit. Do you do this a lot, Subtle Storm?
Well, I talk to people. I don't necessarily flirt with everybody, but I talk to a lot of people. And yeah, sometimes I get a little bit of attention, and then you just kind of do flirting back and forth.
I'm fine talking with people. I can do that easily. It's different. It's so different.
Why is it different?
Because it's terrifying. I don't know what he'll say. I don't know if he can say anything. What happens when it's done, and I just keep seeing him, and it's not happening.
Well, sometimes things just don't go the way you'd like. That isn't a bad thing.
It's really scary.
I'd rather know than sit and dread over what could be.
Exactly. And it's only scary if you make it scary. Consider, okay, say you talk to him and then you find out there's nothing that's going to happen.
I like to have things organized and to know ahead of time a bit, and I know I can't do it with this one, and that's what makes it scary. I can't organize this. I can't put a note in anything for him. I've tried.
Sometimes you can't organize everything. Not everything gets a note.
I know that, and it's scary that way. Okay, it's. Oof. You can see she's actually organized her cutlery a little bit and the salt shaker.
Look at our group. Were we exactly what you expected?
No, I shouldn't say it like a. No, it was a surprise. Okay, I wasn't sure. I didn't have many expectations.
You can be honest. You can be honest.
It's been really trying.
Exactly. You didn't expect this. This is probably one of the worst ways it could have gone.
As we overhear, my child spoon is recently birthed and shouldn't be drinking alcohol. And Fern just sinking into the chair a bit.
You've survived this, Fern. Going up and saying hi and talking to him should be the easiest thing in the world.
It should be, but I'm nervous.
Just go up like you're just having a normal conversation and it'll be fine.
She's rocking back and forth in her chair a bit. I could.
And I suppose at some point she'll see Afternoon Nap sitting next to the guy and pointing at her.
Her eyes are wide. What was that about? What's he saying? She's tugging at Subtle Storm to look over there. He pointed at me. Afternoon Nap pointed at me, not the Rev.
I'm not sure. Do you want me to go ask?
Please?
Will do. I get up and I waltz on over. Hello, what are you two boys talking about?
Well, I've just found out that Giraffe has some troubles with the language here, and I was thinking maybe he could use someone who can help him learn the language a bit better. We are not here for all that long, I hope, presume. But from what I heard, she would be around more often. So I was thinking maybe we could arrange something.
That's a wonderful idea. I'll be right back.
That
And
one is Tibak's woman. Tibak's
Tabaxi.
woman.
Tabaxi,
Yes,
also Tabaxi. I
Tabaxi.
don't think we have. Yes. We do not have different words for for female or male Tabaxi.
No,
It is
I-
also just Tabaxi.
Just to be sure. Just
Yeah.
with Leonin is big hair, round face. Is easy clue.
Yes, no, we do not have that distinction. But, well, there is always he gestures at his chest and mimics a pair of breasts with his hands.
Yes, I know of those.
Wait. Do the women from your kind do not have those?
No. They have... he pulls back his hood a bit. We have thin plate here. They have two small run like this as he mimes with his hand where we go. Sometimes smaller too. That is... we know.
Why do I wager that Fern is about dying just watching this conversation?
Yeah, she has no idea, but she can see after that mimic a pair of breasts.
Yeah.
So she's just looking at Serena with please help eyes, and she has no idea what to help with or how. She's just requesting help. Meanwhile, what's happening at Spoon Table? You have a child to impress.
Well, Donkin will do some fire tricks to show that he truly is a man of fire.
Not Fog Cloud?
Can't do that right now.
I'll let you do Smoke Cloud.
Let's see. Let's see if I can make spoons a musical instrument.
No one's gonna mind if I do
You
this
can.
inside. Ooh,
Sir, I
sorry,
think you'll find that's based on a previous Disney production. Yeah, you're tapping it out. He's following along, and he's even trying to mimic you a bit. He is off time. But how about the great fey creature that he's intrigued by? Do you wish to give this child important information? Raise your shield up at all times. Keep your sword in hand. Never trust an elf.
Well, the elf stuff wouldn't come up unless it was mentioned in conversation already.
Of course, he's no interested in that sort of thing. It's just all about, what is the Fae like? Are you going to take my name? I've heard you people... Some of you can do that, and I don't know why. Why do you want names?
Yeah,
I don't
Eustace,
know,
why do
but
they want
do
names?
Take them. I got mine back though.
That happened to you? Was it him?
No.
Oh, then we could have asked why. Do you know
Oh,
why?
good.
Do you know why the Fae want names? We can make new names, so why does it matter? Do they? Can they not?
Well, they hold a set of value to them. They're called nominative functional trinkets, I believe. NFTs.
I hate you so much right now. I knew that was coming. God.
And names are still somehow worth more.
Fucking...
Well, that's one for Wild Beyond the Witchlight.
I was waiting for him to be like, okay, now Nil, give back your inspiration. Thank you.
It's terrible, but he gets to keep it. I'm not taking it away. However, the next fight, oh, it's fucking end of you. Tonight.
The javelin
you.
will betray you all of a sudden.
Where's my biggest, meanest monster? Ah, yes, I know exactly what I'll use. It's Duncan, but twice the size.
Double donkin.
His head catches the roof on fire.
You look very strong, too. Is that normal for you?
We vary in size.
It's strange, because you are a prey animal. You look like one. I don't think you are, but you have such power in you, such arm. I want to wrestle. Can I?
Okay.
Can I wrestle?
Scoot my seat back a little bit.
Oh, he pounces. Got a 24.
So, what, just rolling strength?
It's up to you. You can roll athletics, or you can roll acrobatics and sidestep him. You can make use of a feature you think might be relevant as well.
I mean, I'll try athletics. I should have a better roll there. Will I? I don't know.
You got an inspiration to try again.
Oh, it's close.
Or an ace.
Are you assisting?
You gonna help him out here?
You can be inspired.
You're tapping away with your spoons.
Yes, you
The clickety clackety, it helps for some reason.
Is it 1d6?
it's
D8 now.
a D8.
Little
D8.
5.
Yeah, add a D8 to that. So just don't roll a 1, and you got this.
There.
Yeah.
You managed to catch him there, and he is both adorable but dense. Like, you're realizing he's heavy. This is all muscle on this kid. But he is ecstatic. Like, one moment he's reaching for you with claws outstretched, and the next, arms in the air. Woohoo! You really are strong! And the barman is going, keep it down the back there. No roughhousing.
I tap the spoons louder.
Okay, you win this one. I'm fine. You are good, though. Maybe you'll wrestle my father one day. He is so much bigger than me, though. It would be a fun match.
His father, huh? Pan, you ever played a tabaxi? No.
You ever had
No,
a father
actually.
in your campaign, Pan?
Yeah, Gunther did. He was just disappointed.
Oh, man. Just thinking that somehow Chicago and Donkin's dads know each other.
Of course, yeah.
But they've
go
never
to
at
the-
all talked about their children because they don't even know they have them. They are
Yeah, they
best
have to know
friends
each
and have
other.
nothing to talk about in that regard. You have
Soon we'll
allayed the
all
lion
torch Nazi as
cub.
well.
Alright, let's hop back to the girl talk table. Because you're all getting to see Afternoon Nap doing the mime.
I am heading back to explain the situation. To
It's like,
her.
what the hell is he doing? I'll be right back with an update.
So what was that about?
Immensely, as I was coming over, I was saying it's not what it looks like. When I sit down. Well, apparently, this is something that we think is right up your alley.
What?
He's looking for.
She's just bringing an arm across the chest.
Well, no, not that.
No,
Not saying I'm
wait
against
for me
it,
to
but that's a
finish.
little early.
No. We're
Did I just
talking
say
about.
that?
No. Don't worry. We're not even talking about that. That was talking about tabaxi and the difference between male and female tabaxi.
I can't win against you. Come on, that's not fair.
No. We're he was asking to be able to make sure he could tell us apart properly. It's all right.
Oh.
Don't worry.
Okay.
Tabaxi apart properly.
All right.
Correct. No, as a matter of fact, apparently he's not 100%, sure on the language. An Afternoon Nap was indicating that maybe you would be a person who would be able to assist him with some language lessons, possibly.
I teach him how to stutter and forget words.
No,
Well-
you teach him words.
No, I'm saying I would try to, and that's what the result would be. He just...
Have you done this before?
He's looked at me a few times and I've not been able to say anything afterwards.
Just treat it like a normal conversation.
Yeah.
Is there a Zarina that had a romance like this? A meeting like this? A meeting? Is there like Zarina the Scale? Zarina the Lizard Lady or anything? I suppose there couldn't be, or unless it's a distant aunt.
Don't think so.
Oh, so I'm just weird, okay.
Well, I don't really remember my entire family tree or all the stories associated with all of them.
No, it's okay, I'm just realizing it's not normal at all to have this kind of idea. Starting to
I don't
hyperventilate.
I don't think Zarina the Dragon Tamer was that kind of way.
She just never told you.
But I mean, just
Just
Look
thinking
at
about
how
what's
you are now.
just thinking about what's going on spoon table when any of this is happening.
I mean, just look at you now. You're driving yourself probably almost sick, and you haven't
Mhm.
even said hello yet.
So imagine what happens if I do say hello. I just right out on the floor in front of him. I'm sure that'll be a great way to open.
Yeah, you just say hello, and then he says hello, and then there you go.
Okay, how about this? Would it help if we go over there and if you pause and can't think of what to say, I telepathically tell you exactly what to say?
Seen a play about this? I don't know if it always works out.
This is just to get you started and comfortable.
All right. Yeah. Okay. Sure. Yes. What's the right phrase for it? I think it's an old dwarf one of that knife's not gonna pull it out itself.
That's the spirit. Let's go. And she stands up and offers her a hand.
She takes your hand. It is fucking trembling.
And I drag her over.
That you do. Zarina, are you watching for silence, or have you decided it's time to join the spoon table?
I'm watching how it's gonna go over. The I wish I could remember that 70s dating show. Because it feels just like that.
Yeah, that's what I mean. This is a ton of sitcom things, especially whenever Bluetooth came back with the earphones and shit. This is an incredibly common trope.
I'll say Duncan has drawn a very good diagram of all the utensils and how they could possibly connect to form new utensils.
I like this one. This one's very good. It has knife and spoon.
Yes.
This one's no good, though. It's just knife. Why do you need second knife if you already have knife?
Just in case.
What if you had this one, but it was bigger than that one?
Oh, sizes is a whole other issue. I need a new diagram.
Unintentionally inventing the Swiss Army knife.
Yeah. The Donkin branded knife.
The donk tool.
Not the tool donk.
Alright, now to the soap opera. Which has hopefully been entertaining.
Yes.
There was one more thing I would have tried to tickle out of
Yes.
the lizard man before they come back.
Go ahead.
And it is mainly because these things the females have among the lizard men, would they be... Is that something male lizard folk think is attractive?
It can be. You see health in them. Shine of scale, patchiness, coloration is not easy to it shows they are well fed.
Ah, I see. That's just something I was
But
curious
red on head is good.
I see. Ah, but anyway, I am not sure. How do you like to learn the best? I do believe Lady Farron over there has penchant to use notes and written things. Have you learned the script yet?
Very little.
At all?
Small amounts. To pay bills, to know what is charged.
Well, that's also something that is quite important. I'm sure she will be glad to be able to teach you.
Mr. Besed also say Fern very good with numbers and coin. So yes, she for that, yes.
Yeah, I believe she would be a good teacher.
He is bad at coin.
Are you good with coins as well?
I do not understand most time. I know numbers of them. The metals are good, useful, shiny, and pleasant to touch. I don't know why they are so important, but I can swap them for things, and I know they want them. I know to get paid in them.
I see. So your lizard folk do not have coins?
My tribe, no. Maybe others. I speak for my own. We do not
Nice.
play with them. I've seen that many times.
Gambling.
Gambling. Gambling. So
Yes.
like Farney, yes. Game of chance. Yes.
Yes. Playing with cards or dice. Most of the time, people lose more than they gain from it.
Yes, Mr. Bisset does, yes. All of that. We've lost carriage before. We've lost horse. I liked horse. He lost many times. We get back, but he never learned. I learned not to at all times.
Well, you have my sympathy. But if I may ask, why does your employer keep him around if he appears to be such a burden? What can he do?
We work together as bodyguards, warriors. We hunt beast, man, and monster. We are good.
I see. So he's good with the sword.
Bow and also spell, arcane.
With spells. He's a wizard or a mage of some manner.
A magi, yes.
Yeah. That's quite interesting to know. Oh, and I believe Miss Farron and Supper Storm have arrived. She may have brought word to her. And I wave over to the two as they come closer.
I mentally poke her and say, why didn't you just say, hello, it's nice to meet you properly?
Why would I do that?
Just do so.
You can also give me a perception check, Subtle.
Can I alphabet? Nope.
Nope. Hi. How are you? Who are you? Hi. Hello, Yerev.
Well, one moment. Excuse me for a second. I go over to the bar and order something to drink. Or rather, before I do, I go back. Well, Mr.
Yerev.
Where? Yerev. Do you drink anything?
Water.
Of any sort? Just water. All right.
Flavored berry. It has fruit. Squashed in.
Fruit juice.
I not
alcohol. Nothing with alcohol. Nothing that
above.
gives that pleasant tingle. All right. Farron, is there anything you prefer in that regard?
Oh, just a whiskey.
All right. I'll be right back.
Right. And then into your head, Subtle Storm. Hey. Why did I say that? I've never drunk anything like that before. I only have ale. I don't have anything like that there. I like a nice fruit wine.
I go to the bar. One glass with fruit juice and triple whiskey, please.
That'll be quite a bit there. So 2 copper for what you want, and also for the other one. That's gonna be a gold to crack open that bottle.
I slip over.
I give
Make that a wine instead.
All right. Wine then.
And I slip back immediately.
Oh, that's fine then. Just a silver.
All right. I'll pay for that.
We are at the 3-hour mark.
As poor Fern is trying to romance.
Is trying to greet. Not even romance
Yeah.
at this point.
Yeah.
Literally to exchange names.
And on the bright side, we do have a potential 3 weeks in a row where we'll have Boarside.
Including next
Ooh.
week. So this week, next week, and then
Mm-hmm.
2 more weeks.
Yep. No, just
Okay.
just this week,
Just- okay,
next
so
week,
3
and the next
total.
week. Yes.
Okay.
All
So are we
right,
happy to leave
so-
off now, or do we want to push a bit further?
I'd say now is good.
Yeah, this is gonna probably take a little more while to resolve anyway. So
Give you guys
next
time
week.
to think about dialogue and such, especially Spoon Table, who really need to think about what they say sometimes.
I don't think it would have been so good if we thought about what we said.
I know, Ernace has to ingratiate himself with the hunters
I'm
and their
gonna ride
dog.
that dog.
Yeah. Yeah, not Lou. I almost said Lou. Donkin will actually help Ernace when he goes to meet the hunters. I want to watch that.
I mean, there's also Mr.
Are they
Besaid
different
here.
though? Are they different?
I mean, slightly. Donkin is more violent.
So we'll leave off for now, and we'll get back to it next time. And there'll probably be something horribly violent happening next time.
Woo!
As
No
Ernace rides the dog.
way.
He snaps.